Morning, peoples. How we doing? Oh, just realised I haven't got the chat open. Hang on a minute. Why didn't that work? Oh, haven't got my pen either. I'm really organised this morning. Hang on. Where's my pen gone? There it is. There we go. How's everybody doing? Busy morning, busy morning. So this morning we've got the Swiss franc rate announcement at 8:30. So I put a message in Telegram, but if I was you, I would give the DAX a swerve this morning. We're likely to have just a little bit of whippiness at the open because the news is 8:30. Where are we? Down here. 8:30. So obviously the market opens at 8 o'clock. Highly unlikely they're going to do any massive movements before the Swiss franc rate comes out. So, and especially as the Swissy have got a bit of a history of not doing what they say and surprising us. So yeah, be aware of that this morning. So if you got the OLB EA, I'd probably either pause it this morning or just don't put it on. Morning, John. Morning, Diamond. Morning, David. Morning, Andrew. Morning, Rahul. Seymour. It's time. Bartek. Morning. Morning, Jay. Please come to Dubai. My wife will treat you like a king. Not sure what to read into that, Jay. I'd love to come to Dubai. Supercar heaven. I want to see the Lambos driving around. The police Lambos chasing all the other idiots in their Ferraris and Lambos. Morning, Steve. Morning, LA. Virginia. Satan's flip flop. Best name on the chat, that is, I'm sure. Sorry, Satan's flip flop. Can't be a Satan's flip flop. Satan's thong, as they call it in Australia. I was just reading something in Telegram. Morning, Sydney. George, even in Sydney. Good evening. Right, so that's news today, basically at 8:30. So we've got 7 minutes to the open. We'll watch it, but we've got a double gap situation on the DAX now. So we've got a gap fill to the downside from this morning's open. We've also got the gap from Tuesday as well now to fill. So this to me looks like a lovely little old target for the day. I did think that was going to be the target yesterday, but it didn't get there. So we managed to get down, but we didn't get down far enough. So thanks for the follow, whoever that was. Frederick, welcome aboard. So I've got loads of alerts going off on my other MT4. God, what's going on over there? Oh, it's the kind of alerts you like. I've got the alerts going off that go, we've just closed a trade. Thank you. Yeah, like those alerts. I'm happy for those alerts to go off. Yeah, so basically just be careful. But obviously with the SNB, the Swiss franc will affect the euro, which will affect in turn the DAX. So I don't think we're going to get a lot of movement. We might come down and fill the gap maybe before the open. Before the Swiss National Bank announcement at 8:30. Then obviously this will depend on which way that announcement goes as to which way we go. But if they're going to whip it, it would be a really quick move down to there to whip it back up again. So I really like it short. But obviously just bear in mind, if you're going to trade this around news and it whips like that, and you've gone short, you're going to get stopped out. So from a stop perspective, you just need a bit of room, really. So there is a good possibility of a short, and it's a very nice reward as well. But, you know, it's news. Anything can happen in news. So morning, Jonathan. Morning, Anna. Morning, the other Jonathan. No, that is the same Jonathan. It's taking the Swiss. It is completely taking the all news takes the Swiss. Morning, Stevie. So just got into another sell on the euro. Right. So looking at news today, the SMB is 830. Yeah. Which we're expecting a 1.5, which we will, I think, get. Oh, hello, another one. It's profit morning. Like it. Sorry. We've got tentative news on the conference, which is basically after the rate. So basically, they don't know exactly what time they're going to be on, but the SMB press conference comes after the rate. So this is the important bit. So when we get the news, we will get the spike, we will get the whipsaw, we will get whatever we get. Then the press conference will give forward guidance on what the Swiss National Bank are deciding to do with their rates in May. So that's the bit that's going to move the market, and we don't know what time that is. Typically, it will be somewhere between, it's usually within a half an hour of the rate, so somewhere up to 9 o'clock. So we've got a potential hour of, whippy at 8:30, and then a potential hour of nothingness, and then a movement at 9. So just be aware of all of your euros, all of your Swiss francs, and all of your indices. Then 12 o'clock. We have the rates for the UK. And then with 12:30, we've got the unemployment claims for the US. So this is the day. This is the news day today. We've got super, super volatile news this week. And it's all pretty much focused on today. Tomorrow's PMI day. So again, PMI affecting every currency tomorrow. So today and tomorrow is just nuts. So hopefully today and tomorrow is just big paydays. So we have to wait for the news, but that's what you got coming up. This afternoon, I've got a physio appointment at 1 o'clock, so I'm not going to be here for 1:20 on the dot. I will stream this afternoon when I get back from my physio, but I don't know if my physio is going to be 5-10 minutes or 20, half an hour. I have no idea. Luckily, my physio is at the end of my road, so it's literally a 1-minute walk away from where I am. So it won't take me long to get back, and obviously I just got to press a button and we're on. So I will be on this afternoon, but I don't know what time. I will try and get here for 1:20. But if not, you know why. Yeah. So if basically you're here at 1:20, because the stream is scheduled to start at 1:20 still, if you're in the room at 1:20, just put a note in the chat for me and say Lee's going to be late this morning, probably this afternoon, just to let people know. Because I don't want to reschedule it for 1:30 and then I'm here at 1:20 and, here on time. So there you go. So that's the news today, including news on me. No news overnight that I could see. Obviously, the main news last night, we got the Royal Bank of New Zealand came out. We expect monetary policy tightening to force the New Zealand economy into a mild recession later this year. So not good for New Zealand. So we've had a little bit of that coming out overnight, nothing particularly drastic. We've got no ADRs. ADRs are flat this morning, so nothing to see there. So yeah, basically overnight news, all we're really focused on is what happened last night in FOMC. Yeah, so I won't go through all the red news off of FOMC. As you can see, there's a shed ton of it. Yeah, there was a lot came out of FOMC last night. But as I put in the Telegram group, after reading the FOMC statement and after reading the press conference notes, what I got out of it was uncertainty, basically. Not really any hawkishness. It wasn't very bearish. It was, it wasn't hawkish, wasn't dovish. There was hawkish elements in there. There was dovish elements in there, which cancelled them out. There was a lot of up and down in it. So as you can see from the market reaction, I think that's market open. Let's just have a quick look at the DAX while I'm waffling. We'll just watch that over there. So as you can see from the movement yesterday on FOMC, we had the big spike. We had the rally. We pulled back. We didn't really go anywhere. We didn't get ADR. Well, we did get ADR. We got 150 ADR on some of these, but actually it pulled back quite a lot. So the actual movement that we got on FOMC on Euro US dollar, for example, yesterday, in reality was 60 pips. It's half an ADR. Yeah, if you look at the pound US dollar, where we actually ended was 13 pips. That's less than a quarter of an ADR. US dollar CAD. That's yesterday. Why is that not updated properly? US dollar CAD, yeah? That's where we were. Boom, boom, straight back. 3 pips. So there was not really any movement on anything yesterday. If you look there, bang, bang, 5 pips. So reading into this, basically forward guidance seems to be that the interest rates are going to go up to 5.25. So from what I could glean out of it, we're now up to 5, highest interest rate in the world, in the developed world. The terminal rate is expected now, if I could type or write properly, to go up to 5.25. Yeah. Inflation is coming down at a decent rate, but still not as fast as they want it to. They're a little bit keen to get this down to 2%. So that's fine. Unemployment has gone up, which you would expect with increasing interest rates, but we had a period where it went down as well. So that is actually good. GDP, however, is dropping. So the reason they want to get this down as fast as they possibly can is to get their GDP up. So 5.25 seems to be terminal rate, although Moody's and a couple of other ratings companies actually anticipated a 0.5 increase. Somewhere in here. Was it Fitch or Moody's? One or the other. Can't remember. It's in there somewhere. But Moody's basically said they're looking at potentially a 0.5 rate, 2.25s. So it's difficult to read anything into this at the moment. The US dollar is a most attractive currency out there for investment. It has the highest interest rates. So overall, bullish US dollar, I think. We've got another rate increase on the cards. The Fed isn't happy with this. The soft landing is still there. They're not ruling out the possibility of a recession. So they are going to keep the pressure on the interest rates, which makes the US dollar bullish. So I would anticipate all these moves that we're seeing against the US dollar at the moment are just fishing. And the actual move we're going to see is US dollar strength. Yeah. So continuation on the current path. However, it's not massively strong US dollar and it's not massively weak US dollar. It's kind of neutral to strong is the way I see it at the moment, but it's still strong. Stronger than everything else anyway, put it that way. Yeah, so that's what I got out of FOMC yesterday. Basic uncertainty, not really any bullish or bearish movement there. Morning, Baggy. Morning, Neo. Morning, Brian. Morning, Mayo. US dollar yen, any thoughts? I would be looking, well, that's a tricky one, you see. Bullish US, but bullish yen, based on the fact that the yen doesn't want this to climb and they will intervene. So initially, I would say probably down to there. But at the moment, there's a possibility of it coming back up into this area as well. So it's a tricky one at the moment. If you got an ADR hit to the downside today, that'd be a lovely long. However, if this starts to push now, we're probably going to come down there at some point on some kind of yen news. Look at the DAX. It's not going anywhere, is it? So there's your 5-minute open. Whoops. There was your 15-minute open. And that's where you are now. So, yeah, as I suspected. No news. Morning, Vink. Yeah, no news until the rates are out. So there's no ADRs to look at the moment. We're flat, obviously, same as yesterday, flat morning. We're going to get a flat morning. It's all about news. So the only time you're going to see anything light up here is when the news spikes come. You won't see any decent movement on anything today until that news is in. So we should see a very flat. Asia's been very flat, as you can see. We've got 73 pip range, just over a quarter of an ADR on the Swiss yen, for example. So not really a lot of movement. So just a quick recap of yesterday. So quite a lot closed out yesterday. The ADR reversals did $1,700 yesterday. Very nice, very nice. I won't go through every single one of them, but as you can see, there's a lot closed out yesterday. Pound New Zealand, actually, I wanted to have a quick look at, because Pound New Zealand is a really good example of a multi-trade example. Yeah. So this was the ADR hit on the Pound New Zealand. So we hit ADR to the upside. Initial entry was there. Scaled in, had to take drawdown control on that one there. Had to take drawdown control on that one there. God, I couldn't get that much worse, could you? That one was fine. Scaled out the whole lot there. So overall trade was about $250 there, and took a couple of small losses along the way. So that was overall small profit. Nice bullish one there anyway, but so that was quite nice to see that one, because that was multiple trades. Euro New Zealand was another really good one. That was pretty much the same, Pound New Zealand, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand was multiples as well. Why are you not updating? There we go. So Euro New Zealand, that was the ADR push to the upside. Initial entry, second, third, fourth. We had to scale out on that one once. We had to scale out on that one once. All closed out yesterday. Yeah, quarter ADR. Just not looking, not greedy, just because these are ADR extensions. If you get an ADR extension and you're not already extended on RSI, chances are the next day you're going to become extended on RSI if it pushes, and then obviously you just get out on the next little pullback. So yeah, there's quite a few of those closed out yesterday. New Zealand CAD was a double as well. That was a good one to show. Whoops. New Zealand CAD, there we are. Oh, so I'm on a VPS, everything's delayed and lagging. Come on. There you go. So New Zealand dollar CAD buy. Entry there. Second entry. Scale out on one. Exit there. Into sells at the moment, because we had an ADR hit to the upside. So now going short. So there's a few of those closed out. So that was nice. Decent profit. We're sitting in roughly 1% drawdown. A few H4M5s closed out yesterday as well. Wasn't too many of these actually yesterday. So what did we close out yesterday? Euro odd and Euro New Zealand. So Euro odd, very easy one. H4. There you go. H4 RSI extension, straight in, straight out. Euro New Zealand. Still haven't put these in order. Must put these in order. Euro New Zealand, pretty much the same trade. Oh, please change the chart. Oh, yeah, there you go. Euro New Zealand, pretty much the same trade. It's virtually the same. Look, that's Euro New Zealand, and this is Euro odd. Very similar. Pound CAD, Euro CAD, and Pound New Zealand. Sorry, Pound New Zealand is one. The other two are scale outs. Where are we? Pound New Zealand. There we go. So H4 extension, in, out, easy. Euro CAD and Pound CAD are both scale outs. So the EA is basically taking small loss on that one. It's pushing, and same with the other one. So, but yeah, overall good day. $600 odd bucks there. $900 on the H1, which is the account I'm in at the moment. So I can do that one over here. Or the hedging account as well, I was going to show you. This is the H1 hedging strategy that I'm developing at the moment. This thing's killing it. Absolutely killing it. I'm waiting for this to go into hideous drawdown. It's not though. So remember I was doing, if you've been in the live room for a while, I was running an experiment on the M5 hedging strategy with different drawdown control levels to see what impact different drawdown control levels had. I exported all that data of all of those orders and plotted them on charts, and came to the conclusion that on the H1 time frame, because all I was looking for was drawdown control, how far away to do drawdown control basically. So from what I'd gleaned, I was looking at it, and the biggest, how do I say this? The biggest average distance, I guess is what I'm saying, before a pullback commenced on the M5 timeframe was 1.5 ADR. So what I came to the conclusion of was if you switched up to the hourly time frame and took the reverse alerts on the hourly time frame, it would be unlikely for price to move 1.5 ADR against you before a pullback started. That's the average. Obviously, it will do. You will get into squeezes and stuff. But doing a third of a drawdown at 1.5 ADR means you would only really ever be in one position, maybe two positions. So my maths, to cut a long story short, which is really complicated, my maths came out at if you get in on H1 on every reversal alert and hedge, your hedges will bank more than the drawdown control. So as long as you've got the market going like that, or like that, or like that, what will happen is your hedge trades pay for your drawdown control trades plus a little bit of profit. And as soon as you've got to the point where you've done a little bit of drawdown control, most of the time you'll only have one more order trigger before you get out at a profit with half an ADR. So overall, the maths on it will work every time you get into a trade that has less than 3 positions. Really complicated algorithm, but that was the outcome of it. So this is live testing it now, and at the moment it's proving me right. It's only been running for a week and a bit, but yeah, it's doing pretty damn good. Anyway, so I'll work on that. I'm still working on that anyway. So DAX, we are not going anywhere much at the moment. Oh my God. I've got a load of trades which are teetering on the edge of being banked, and they're all banking, which is lovely because it's happening before the news. Which is good. Morning, Shroud. If I haven't said already, good morning. Good morning, Michael. Eldar, is ADR reversal a automatic trading? It can be, yeah. So if you buy the market, if you get the market reverse alerts EA, this is the ADR set file running. So this will automatically trade ADR extensions for you. Yeah. Or you can just get the indicator, and the indicator just draws it on the chart, or you can get the dashboard, and the dashboard just alerts you to when they're hit. It's all on the website. If you go to the website, under indicators, ADR reversal indicator, and then there's ADR alert dashboard, and then under EAs, there's the market reversal alerts EA that trades ADR as well. I'll put a link in the description, in the chat for you. Right, so yeah, H1s. That was the outcome yesterday. Pound New Zealand. Sorry, those are live trades. Yeah, you can see basically what I did. Yes, Euro US dollar closed out. Pound yen closed out. These are all singles, one in, one out. Oh, that's a drawdown control. Sorry. Pound yen, New Zealand dollar, US dollar closed out. New Zealand dollar CAD closed out. Aussie Swiss closed out. Euro pound closed out. New Zealand dollar Swiss closed out. Pound CAD. 3 drawdowns on that one. So the pound CAD basically had to take some DD control on that one yesterday. So we're in another position. So I'm up to 4 positions in that one now. 3, 4. I took 3 drawdown controls on that yesterday. So that would have been a beauty yesterday. If we hadn't done that drawdown control, that would have been a $1,500 day. Pound US dollar. No, that was the day before, and Aussie CAD closed out as a single as well. So Aussie CAD, that was just 1 in, 1 out. RSI, help if you can see the RSI, wouldn't it? RSI extension to the downside, below 75, 1 in, 1 out next day. So yeah, very good. So good day. DAX dead. We have 15 minutes to the news. Afternoon, Astro. How are you doing? Eldar, where can I buy the EA? On the website. I just linked it to you, didn't I? Yeah, sorry. I was talking to you, but wasn't I about it? Yeah, I've just linked it to you. Are you planning to explain your hedge strategy in a new bootcamp video? Well, if it works, yeah. I will. I won't do it in a bootcamp video. I will just release another video about it, basically. But I need to prove it first, live. What I'm concerned about is drawdown. The reason I don't personally run the hedging set file with the market reverse alerts EA is because it can experience big drawdown. So what I'm looking at running this live, and because it's running on the hourly charts, I'm going to need to run it for a few weeks at least to get an idea of drawdown. So I'm planning on running some simulations. I'm just going to do 6 months. So I'm going to run it in the back tester for 6 months on all the majors, a couple of yen pairs, a couple of Swiss pairs, just to get an idea for drawdown on account, which will give me a little bit of an idea of what the max drawdown will get to. Because the problem with the strategy tester is you can't see max open drawdown. It doesn't show you max open drawdown. It shows you your max drawdown on account. So as long as that doesn't, from what I can see with drawdown that actually happens, as long as that doesn't get over sort of 15, 20%, maybe 25%, I think it'll be okay. And don't forget, I will do drawdown control. You know, it's the same thing with everything. If any of this gets, 2 or 3%, I will start to get aggressive on it and do manual drawdown control myself. The EA is doing drawdown control at 1.5 ADR anyway. And my maths says basically the vast majority of the time, you'll be okay with that. But you will experience some drawdown because 1.5 ADR is quite a long way before you start scaling out. But if something is extended on the, if you got a reverse alert basically on the hourly and it pushes 1.5 ADR against you, you've got an H1 RSI extension. So the next entries that it starts to take will typically play out anyway. So it's my doctor. I bet that's my appointment cancelled today. So yeah, I'll obviously do a video on it and the theory and the strategy behind it, but it's exactly the same as the set file on the website. Anyway, it's the H5. Actually, it's not the same. It's a different one. But it's the same theory. It's hedging. And it's all the hedging is literally just every H1 reverse alert you get, you take it. There's no RSI extension rules. There's nothing. It's just get in and get out. Yeah, look at H1. Just get in. Yeah, and you get out when you're in profit. When you get a reverse alert, get in. So it's literally just playing that. The only time it's going to struggle is on a squeeze. But on a squeeze, it's going to be making profit on the way as well. And this is what I mean. These pay for your scale outs so that when it comes back down again, the profit from the trade that works, these will make a small loss probably. But the small loss is far, like I said, 80% of the time, the market is range bound, isn't it? 20% of the time it trends. This works on a mean reversion in range and shallow trend. So the only time you're going to get hurt is on a deep trend. And that's only 20% of the time. So 80% of the time, H1 mean reversion will be banking like that. So, but that's the thing I've got to see. So we'll see. Nothing is good until it's been proven in live testing. Everything looks good on paper. Everything's good in theory, but need to live test it. So we're waiting for 10 minutes before the news. Is it capable of trading on prop firms? Yeah. Everything's capable of trading on a prop firm. Will it hit your drawdown? I've no idea. Eldar. Right? I've got to do this video, haven't I? I've got to do this video about prop and explain this. Whether you pass a prop firm or not challenge, whether you pass a prop evaluation is nothing to do with the EA, indicators, strategy, nothing to do with it. Yeah, whatever you're using to trade an evaluation on prop has nothing to do with whether you pass an evaluation or not, right? If you had the best strategy in the world with a 60% strike rate and a 2-to-1 risk reward, right? That will fail prop evaluations. It will also pass prop evaluations. Yeah. The strategy has nothing to do with it. What has to do with whether or not you pass an evaluation is when you take those trades. If you start your evaluation on a Monday and your strategy has a losing run of 8 trades, which you risk 1% on, you will blow you. You're dead. If you start your strategy on Wednesday and your strategy goes few winners, few losers, few winners, few losers, you're going to be pretty much break even. If you started it on a Friday and it just so happened from that Friday onwards, your strategy had 9 winning trades in a row, you're going to pass the evaluation straight away, aren't you? Yeah. The strategy doesn't change. What changes is the market conditions. You cannot foresee the future. Therefore, you cannot predict whether any EA or strategy will pass a prop evaluation. I have passed prop evaluations, position trading on H1M5. I have failed evaluations doing exactly the same thing. The differences were they started at different times. Yeah. So go and buy the market reversal alerts EA, use the ADR reversal one. Yeah, that's the wrong one. That's made 23% profit this month. Fantastic. Yeah. It's also gone into 17% drawdown. But it went into 17% drawdown for about 4 days. If you had traded that side of those 4 days or this side of those 4 days, happy days. You passed evaluation. If you traded it there, you didn't. So take 3 evaluations. Start one on a Monday. Start one on a Wednesday. Start one on a Friday. The period of time those things are running over is going to be different. And you'll pass one of them, won't you? Spend 1,500, pass one evaluation. Make 1,500 profit, pay for it. Everything above there is profit. Capiche? That's how it works. That's prop. I'm going to do a proper video on that. I'm going to do some slides and stuff when I get some time. Yes, a hedging strategy bootcamp is due. I don't do it though. I can't really teach it because I don't do it. But I will show you what the EA does. And I will start doing it if that works, that one. But, you know, I've got all these others. You know, this is the thing. I've got this my bread and butter is ADR reversals, H4M5 and H1M5. These all produce copious amounts of money. So adding this is just going to add another copious amount of money, isn't it? But it's in effect, it's the same thing. It's just market structure reversals. All you're doing is you're doing it slightly different, aren't you? So it's the same thing in a different box. You're lucky I don't have release an EA. You know, what everybody else that sells EAs and stuff does, what they usually do is they release a different EA for everything, don't they? This is my EA for this. This is my EA for this. This is, you end up spending $2,500 on EAs because they've got 10 strategies and none of them probably work. I don't do that. Oh my God. Oof. I've got profit alerts going off all morning. These are all targets. That's all. Anyway, right. Let me just catch up on the chat. We've got 6 minutes to go. We'll do some analysis in a minute. We've got 111 people in here, and there's only 36 thumbs up. How comes that? That shouldn't be right. That should be at least 50 thumbs up by now, shouldn't it, with 111 people in here? You don't mind? Not that I moan about it. Morning, Lars. Can you repeat your New Zealand dollar CAD analysis? So New Zealand dollar CAD, I can't repeat it because I haven't done it yet. It's an H1 RSI extension. So basically, we've got a resistance coming up at ADR today. We've got a propulsion gap that we're trading in right now, which seems to be rejecting. So extended on RSI. So I've got in already. I'm in here on the H1 RSI extension. We've basically pushed back down and had a second leg. So we've now got RSI divergence in play, and basically looking for next leg down. So I'm looking for a profit take move on that. Targets to the downside, so drop down M5, take the next, oh, that's a beauty, look. M pattern reversal. So take the next reversal alert. That's your propulsion gap target 1, which is basically my first entry there. You've also got this target there on H1, which we might find support out of. It's going to come down and test those 2 levels. It may come down and test that. That has already been tested twice, but I would expect it probably to come down there anyway. But at the moment, we're basically in a range, and we've gone into price discovery out of the top of this range, failed, come back down again, hit that, failed. Now we've broken through. That is possible for a long, but New Zealand dollar CAD is a little bit shaken up at the moment, because obviously if you look at the buyer scorecard on this, it is a buy, but it's a range bound buy. And the only reason at the moment it's a semi-decent buy is because the retail crowd are all shorting it. As the retail crowd are shorting it, price is pushing up. Yeah, so every time they hit the sell button, they put their liquidity in for the market to take. Hit the sell button, liquidity, take it. Sell off the back of FOMC, take it. Entice shorts out of this propulsion gap, liquidity, take it. There's also a liquidity pool sitting up there from Monday. Anybody that's entered this week short on a swing, their liquidity's there as well. So there's a good possibility of an ADR hit today on this one. I will be getting in on the next, no, I won't. 86. I will not be getting in on this until about 125 ADR again on H1. But yeah, shorts or longs. Absolutely. I mean, there's no real. It's a short on RSI. H4. It's not quite there yet. It was there. Obviously, I took that one. Look. 2 minutes to news. So. New Zealand dollar CAD. I'd be looking for shorts up there though at ADR somewhere. What should we watch? US dollar Swiss. And we'll watch the DAX. So we'll see where we go. Eldar, the EA comes with set files. Yes. Eldar, go and look at the website. I just sent you links to the website, yeah? Market Reverse Alerts EA. Go to that page. Everything you need is on that page. There's a 2.5-hour video showing you exactly what the EA does, all the settings and everything. There's strategies that I post on the website in there, all running, so you can see it actually trading live. Well, in a video. It's not live. It's in a video. All these indicators explain the Market Reverse Alerts EA, which that in EA is based, Market Reverse Alerts indicator, which the EA is based on. And then down here, you can get links to go and get it. You can see the manual, which you can read, which is a completely detailed multiple-page manual with pictures and all sorts of stuff. There's the set files as well. Yeah, everything you need to know about the product is on that page. More information than anybody in this industry ever provides about anything. Jonathan, tentative news. If you got our first move right, we will take you out at the given moment today. Some prop firms don't allow EAs, so it's best to check their T's and C's. Yeah, definitely check. There's not many that don't allow EAs now. Most of them do. Oh, there we go. Swissie's just tanking. Oh, no, well, US dollar Swiss is tanking. So that is positive Swiss franc news. Oh, that's not good for the US. That's a second bad push it's had. Look at the spread on that. So I should have had financial juice on. 1.5 as expected. That's good. So we've got an as expected news event. So expect a whipsaw. So they've just taken out liquidity on everybody that has taken a long off of that move in Asia. We've got liquidity sitting up at the Asian highs. We've got liquidity sitting up at the London highs at that propulsion gap. So just be prepared for that kind of movement. We've got the press conference coming out in a bit. Big propulsion gap from FOMC to target as well. So ADR hit to the upside was obviously on the cards as well, but they've taken out everybody from yesterday and everybody from Asia. Gap fill on the DAX is just underway. So hopefully what we will get is the Swiss, obviously the next thing we've got coming up now is the news press conference. I'm just seeing if they never televise. The Swiss are so tight-lipped about everything. We never get anything out of the Swissies. So the next thing is obviously the press conference, which will come up in a minute, hopefully. And the press conference will give us the forward guidance as to what they're planning to do. So if they're planning to go with another 0.25%, 0.5%, whether they're looking to freeze, whether they're looking to do whatever. So looking at the fundamentals on the Swiss franc, we are now at 1.5. That will update in a few hours. Their inflation is very low, which is why their interest rates are so low, because they haven't had to be battling inflation. But inflation is starting to, well, it is creeping up. So this is why they're getting on top of it, basically, to make sure that this doesn't get too bad. Their unemployment is ridiculously low, and it's coming down. But like everybody else, the GDP isn't particularly good at the moment. So the Swissies are in the best position out of everybody at the minute. Hugely cash rich country with well, until Credit Suisse went pop, until that, and obviously a massive banking sector. So very, very service industry based, hence the low unemployment. So there is a possibility that this could be their terminal rate. They don't need to do a massive amount. They just need to get on top of this and get this starting to come down. So we may see the Swiss coming out and saying, we will be data dependent, which they always do. If inflation now starts to drop, they may well freeze at 1.5. So we've never had any guidance on what their terminal rate expectations are. So everybody literally has been guessing. So we'll see what happens. So pound Swiss, US dollar Swiss just hit their weeklies. So we'll pay attention to the financial juice. Here we go. Cannot rule out additional rate increases in the near future. Swiss growth around 1%, 2.6 inflation in 2023, 2024 2%. So returning back to target at 2024. So they're looking for 2.6 this year. Well, that's achievable, isn't it? They're only on 3.4. That'll be done in 6 months. Where am I going? Monetary policy assessment. SNB sees inflation at 2% in quarter 4 2025. Not sure how you can see into the future that much. They must have one of these. Or one of these. I'm just going to turn financial juice on so I can just hear what's going on. I can watch the charts then. So still pushing down against with the Swissy. So it's all bullish. Everything that's coming out so far is bullish Swiss. DAX isn't getting much off the back of this. There's no strength coming through on the euro at all. Bit of weakness against the pound by the looks. So you've got a strong pound by the looks of things. Yeah, pound's pushing. So there's a possibility of this just pushing back up again. But we're not going to really know anything until we get some forward guidance, which they're not giving out at the moment. I don't know what time this press conference is, which is the annoying thing. prediction for inflation over the medium term would be even higher without the policy rate hike announcement today. Yeah, okay, so they're basically saying we're getting on top of inflation fast, which is good. It's all bullish. Everything's hawkish. It's coming out at the minute. So strong US, strong Swiss franc for the moment, which in theory you would expect DAX drop, but what we're not seeing is any strength in the euro. So this is why we're not seeing any weakness in the DAX, because the euro is actually not moving much at all off of this at the moment. So yeah, bit of a damp squid at the minute, but we'll see what happens when the press conference comes out. No, no idea as to when it's coming. Okay, I'm going to leave financial juice on in the background. I'm just going to refresh this just to make sure it's working, and then we'll hear when the SMB starts. Okay, leave that running. Vulnerabilities in the mortgage and real estate markets remain. Yeah.
S&P did say that in the short term, the main risks are economic downturn abroad and adverse effects of the turmoil in the global financial sector.
Right, so yeah, this
is sponsored by TickStrike.
Shut up.
TickStrike allows you to actually hear order flow in futures, Forex, and stock instruments. Get a free trial at tickstrike.com. This will be last down about 1%.
So yeah, there's a good chance that this is going to pull back up to here before the press conference. Bruno, SMB press is just at 10 a.m., is it? Oh, right, in an hour and a half. Is that on the SMB website, is it? It's just old ones, aren't they? Time schedule. 9:30. Monetary policy assessment with news conference. 9:30. Ah. Download an ICS file, whatever that is. I assume that's something to do with the calendar. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll leave TickStrike on. I'll leave financial juice on anyway. We can hear stuff going on. Right. And we just catch up on the chat before we do some analysis. Sam, money management rules. Yeah, money management rules. Is that what you meant? Are you asking what my money management rules are, or are you saying money management rules? Either way, it's all on the website, on the Price Action Toolkit. No, it's not. God, my head's all over the place today. It's all on the website in the Position Trading Bootcamp, which is free. Go and watch. Do I have to buy the dashboard too? Or is it coming with the indicator? No, the dashboards you have to buy if you want them, but I don't know what you're talking about, indicators, Eldar. Everything you need is on the website, right? Everything you need is on the website. Okay, just check the website, yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm reading. Catching up. Tony, silly question. It's only a silly question if you haven't asked it before. If I've only got a demo MT4, do the EA still load and work? Okay, yes. So your licenses, when you buy something from the MQL5 marketplace, you get 10 licenses. And those licenses are for a PC. And a PC can run 1 million MT4s. And it can, on those MT4s, you can have 1 million brokers. And that is just one license. It's per PC, not per terminal, per broker, or demo account, live account, anything. It's per PC. So the idea is you can buy it, you can run it on your PC, you can run it on your laptop, you can run it on a couple of VPSs. Yeah, and you've used 4 licenses. You will never get to use 10 licenses unless you keep buying lots and lots of different VPSs. And people keep messaging me every now and again going, I've used all my 10 licenses. My question is always, how the hell have you done that? And the answer is always, well, I don't pay for Windows. So I have to get a new version of Windows when my trial runs out. Okay, so Windows new installation is a new PC. Basically, you get a code on your PC, which is a combination of your hardware and your software. That is what the licenses are on. If you install Windows 10 times, you will lose 10 licenses. If you install Windows 10 times, you're trying to steal money from Microsoft, and I'm quite happy for you to pay again. There you go. There's a lot of people that seem to do this. They're too tight to pay $70 for a Windows license or whatever it costs now. Pretend you're a student, you get it for free. There are ways to get it for free. Haven't the Swiss reputation just been trashed? No. The Credit Suisse bank has had too much exposure, but that's nothing to do with the Swiss franc. That's a Swiss bank, not the Swiss National Bank. It's the Credit Suisse bank. What are the chances of it going higher than the pullback? I have no idea, Elder. Do you mean this going higher than the pullback? Let me check. Not very much. Bruno, 10 a.m. Swiss time, is it? I don't know. I can't work out. I really can't work out when the press conference is, which is why I'm going to leave this on. Because as soon as the press conference starts and stuff starts coming out from the press conference, we will hear it. So I think that's the best thing to do. Unfortunately, we'll get stupid adverts for Tick Strike coming through every now and again, and he'll start talking about yellow news like the Norwegian key policy rate, which nobody's interested in. Look, there you go. SMB press conference, 9. So it is at 9 o'clock, which is in 15 minutes. So there you go. I didn't see that. That's handy. I didn't know Financial Juice did press conference times. There you go. So what we'll do is we'll do some analysis for 15 minutes. Are you trading on prop firm? Yes. Multiples, Shroud. I've got 50Ks and 100Ks on prop. I used lots of, well, I say lots, three accounts I have live at the moment. One of them is teetering on the edge of not being live anymore, in which case is why I'm doing 2 other evaluations, because I'm going to have to replace it. I've just bought a couple of E8. For those of you that, if you want an E8 prop, if you want a prop account, E8 at the moment have a coupon code. Ta-da! It is still valid. It is still valid. I checked it this morning. If you want to get a prop account with 15% off with E8, Elevate, it says it's run out, but I just tested it this morning and it was live. It might have run out now, but check. There's if you want a cheap prop. I say it's cheap. It just takes it down to the same price as my Forex funds, to be honest. Brian needs a towel again. E8 spread is terrible. No, it's not. I've been trading with E8 for years. It's great. Fantastic spreads on E8. Oh, PTR. You are trading 1-minute charts, aren't you? If you're trading 1-minute charts, yes, you might find it a little bit bigger. But then again, you're not going to make money because you're trading 1-minute charts. Mr. Brightside, just watched John Wick 4. Damn. A sprawling Shakespearean orgy of violence. A salute to stunt choreographers and a return to the original film's roots. Totally ridiculous, but great fun. Awesome. I can't wait to see that. Mr. Wick. Get your clucks on. Right, analysis time. Let's do some work. So there's ADRs. Oh no, sorry, that was weekly's got hit, wasn't it? So there's no ADRs yet. So the Swiss franc, obviously, the Swiss franc is at the moment the main contender for ADRs today. However, this afternoon it's going to be the pound, and then a little bit later it's going to be the US dollar. So when I come back on later, I would expect we got some ADRs hit. Pound is going to go up to 1.5. Sorry, 1.5. I wish 4.25. Very, very unlikely that's going to hit any higher than that. Unemployment claims, we don't know. Obviously, we'll see what the unemployment claims are when they come out with the US. That will have a big impact on the US. It's one of the key fundamentals, unemployment. So it's one of the main drivers for monetary policy. Therefore, it's one of the main drivers for currency strength and weakness. So there's no ADRs at the minute to look at. Monthlies, you've got a couple, but they're mainly the Swiss and the... Oh, those are euros. I thought they were yens. They're not. So yeah, I mean, it's mainly to do with the SNB. It's all to do with the, not SNB, the Credit Suisse and the SVB bank collapses. That's why we've got these monthlies in place. So nothing really to look at on the ADR dashboard today. RSIs, you've got lots of opportunities on RSI at the moment. So Aussie dollar CAD, that's an extension to the upside. It's just played out. You've missed it actually this morning. So you had the RSI there this morning. The reversal alert kicked in. 74 is awful. Right. Sorry. Yeah. So the reversal alert kicked in yesterday during FOMC. So that is actually your entry yesterday. So you're actually still in it in drawdown. We didn't get a new high made today. So that is a bit thrown out by FOMC. So if you would have taken that there yesterday, but not a very nice entry, is it? Aussie dollar, US dollar, same thing. Extended on the hourly. Just. So I'm not interested in these. I'm interested when we get to the 75s. So first one is Euro CAD. In short on this one, I've got 2 positions on this one now. So I got one in there. Just done some drawdown control on that one yesterday. Second sell up there. There's the average within an ADR. Looking to come back down into this propulsion gap and that one down there. So Canadian dollar strength. So if we get decent unemployment rates, i.e. unemployment rates come down this afternoon, that will power up the US dollar, which will help the Canadian dollar as well. And that will push down. CAD is still stuck at the moment on oil. So we are making progress on oil, but the market's still not that impressed with this movement. We come up into this propulsion, rejected yesterday. We're having another crack at it.
No pre-commitments on rates.
Euro Swiss ADR was day before yesterday, wasn't it? That was Monday. So got in on an ADR on Monday. Sorry, an RSI on Monday. No progress. So just sideways at the moment. We've pushed up, pushed down. If the Swiss franc is hawkish in the SNB press conference, that will come down. But there's your target down there, all the way down there. At some point, we need some strength in the Swissy. And obviously what we've had is all this weakness in the Swiss franc because of what happens with Credit Suisse. So it will power up. The Swissy will recover. Especially now it's put its interest rates up. It's much more attractive. It's even more attractive than it was before. So as long as they don't come out with any dovish comments in the press conference, we'll be all right. Euro Swiss, Euro US dollar, good extension on RSI on that one. This one, again, I'm on 2 positions at the moment on the H1 M5. First entry there, drawdown control yesterday. Second entry just taken within an ADR. Massive propulsion gap off the back of FOMC to come back and target. We may push further. Again, it's going to depend on the unemployment figures this afternoon. So waiting for unemployment on that one. Very nice extension on this, above the 80 look, but we got embedded. So we've got divergence now in play on the hourly chart. However, this is obviously off of a news event. So we still don't know what the US dollar is doing. It was very, very lackluster yesterday, the news, so it could go either way. New Zealand dollar CAD, off the moon, off to the moon even. Again, big push up, RSI extension. That was based off of the FOMC move.
5 a.m. Eastern time, we get the Norwegian key policy rate. Forecast is for a 25 basis point hike to 3% on the prior of 2.75%. We also get the S&B press conference.
Thank you. Push down, propulsion gap, propulsion gap, propulsion gap. Lots of downside target on this. So just wait for reversal alerts on this one. However, I will be wary of that. So at the moment, retail is shorting it. which means obviously the market is moving up because it's taking out the retail liquidity. New Zealand dollar CAD, yeah. So that's a big buy at the moment. So New Zealand dollar CAD, 89% of the market is short New Zealand CAD. Therefore, it's going up. So until we start liquidating all those shorts and they start flipping long, then we'll start to come down. So at the moment, I would anticipate an ADR hit on this today, but probably not until we get the unemployment. And obviously the unemployment has got to be right for that hit to get there. So definitely like it short, nicely extended, already in it. New Zealand US, extended to the upside. That's a really nice extension on that one. New Zealand's very weak at the moment, which is why we got all this movement to the upside. We had this resistance bounce, which worked beautifully. We've got this propulsion gap target up here, which is, I expect, where we're headed. And this is a nice area of balance. Before we went price discovery, retested, and started getting into more balance. Price discovery, balance, 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 price discovery. Back up into this at some point. Yeah, and then we'll go wherever we want to. So shorts at the moment, nicely extended to the upside, drop down M5, wait for the reversal alert. Nice M pattern reversal playing out here. If we get that before the news, which would be perfect, we're coming back down potentially to ADR today, assuming we get unemployment figures dropping in the US. If we don't, obviously it could go anywhere. We've got 8 minutes to the news. US dollar Swiss, this is obviously...
Eases hiring freeze in Bradford Credit Suisse staff. Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs scouting for traders and bankers, and Credit Suisse takeover restarts hiring plans at some banks.
So Credit Suisse is getting unwound now. Everything's coming back to normal at Credit Suisse, basically. US dollar Swiss, extended and embedded. So we've got a nice big extension on that down below 25 off of FOMC. Filled those propulsion gaps, left a wacky great target to the upside. So as here today, it will depend on the news, what happens in the press conference and what happens with unemployment figures. Likely to either get that straight back up into propulsion, or we're going to come back down and we're going to find limit orders triggering down at these lows. So pop down to there. If we look out a little bit further on this, yeah, we've got this level down here, that level there. So there is your support level at the moment here, which is ADR today. So push to ADR, would expect some kind of push off of that. We're going to find limit orders there on daily, and 4-hour swing traders will be trading these levels. And obviously we've got a propulsion gap there where we're going to be targeting at some point. So I think at the moment, I'm long obviously at the moment, but second entry down there potentially, and come back up into there. Nice easy one. And US dollar Swiss, obviously from a fundamental basis, this isn't going to change. The fundamentals aren't going to change on US dollar Swiss. Yeah, so it's a range bound pair. It's a long US dollar. It's a long Swiss. Interest rates are still better for the US dollar. Interest rate change is actually going to go -1 now because the Swiss have put their interest rates up by more than the US dollar. So that's going to turn -1, which will knock that down to a 0. Inflation figures we haven't changed. Nothing else has changed. Unemployment is going to change this afternoon. The US are never going to beat the Swiss on unemployment. It's not going to happen. If you look at the fundamentals on the Swiss franc, unemployment is at 2.1%. In the US, it's at 3.6. They're going to need some serious drops in unemployment.
Well, now until we get the Norwegian key policy rate, forecast is for a 25 basis point hike to 3%, on the prior at 2.75%. At the same time, we also get the S&B press conference. Yeah,
you've already said that. You don't have to keep repeating yourself. So yeah, there's no real directional bias on it at all at the moment. On the US dollar Swiss at the minute, retail are long. Yeah, so the retail, again, pay attention to this retail. Retail are currently longing US dollar Swiss. Yeah, every time they hit the buy button, they place their liquidity down here, so the market grabs it. They hit the buy button, the market grabs it. Hit the buy button, there's liquidity sitting there. Yeah, as soon as they flip the other way, we will flip back opposite. Take all of their money. So that's good. US dollar yen. Be careful with the US dollar yen. I'm in a buy at the minute up into this propulsion gap. There's lots of propulsion gaps. This is a mess, US dollar yen at the moment. The Japanese will intervene at any time they fancy it, basically, if they see the US dollar getting a little bit too cozy. So you can trade this in any direction at the moment. I've got more faith in shorts than longs, just because of the yen intervention. We've now got the state where the US dollar being kind of a little bit like that rather than being like that. So it's going to find it harder, I think, to make new highs, the US. But at the moment, we've got these beauties up here still in the way that we had these beauties here and finish them off. So I get the feeling we are going to see some rallying on this. All we're going to need is lower than expected unemployment figures this afternoon, and we'll be up here somewhere potentially. So yeah, we'll see. But if it obviously it can also go the other way. If the unemployment figures come out as hideous, then yeah, US dollar's going to come down. The yen's got a fair decent amount of strength at the moment, so it can push it either way. EuroCAD I've already covered, but EuroCAD is a 4-hour RSI extension as well. So again, massive extension above 80 on the 4-hour. Beautiful parabolic move. Lovely targets to the downside. Just a case of waiting. Oil would help. Unemployment on the US would help. So wait for those to come out. Euro Swiss we've covered as well. That's just...
ECB scenario says that our target is headline inflation, not core inflation.
Euro Swiss.
Stream is sponsored by To The Tick. Get free daily point, Fibonacci and market profile levels by signing up at tothetick.com.
Shut up. 4-hour RSI extension, only just though. So we've got lovely divergence here on the RSI. Oh, it's raining. Just to let you know. Beautiful downside target there as well. So strength on the Swiss, we'll find out in 1 minute-ish whether or not we've got more Swiss strength coming through. Euro US dollar I've covered already. That's really extended, really extended. I'm in 2 on that already. Profit take on that is going to be big. That's massively extended for the Euro US dollar. Doesn't often get that big on the 4-hour, look. Yeah, it's not often we get above the 80. Quite rare. We went into an accumulation on that one. Look. There. Yeah, so this is a big extension. We're going to get a nice profit take on this move. And there's a lovely previous resistance there that's going to act as support. So
1 minute, I'm leading with the Norwegian key policy rate first.
Also, we have pound CAD is the only 4-hour extension we've got that isn't extended on the hourly. So that's flatline basically. But yeah, looking for some movement down on that. I've got 4 positions on this one now. I've scaled out on some of it. This move is just, the pound's been uncharacteristically strong. And obviously with the weakness we've got in oil at the minute, this thing's kind of the perfect storm. So just waiting for some CAD strength. So hoping for unemployment figures in the US to drop. And US dollar Swiss, which we know about because we are pushing with the Swissy. So this is all going to either go one way or the other in a minute. There we go. That is your analysis on the RSIs. Afternoon, morning, big popper. So we listen to the, here comes the Norwegian rates. RSIs have all changed now as well. Look.
Hike, 25 basis point hike, 25 basis point hike to 3% as expected.
Nobody cares about the Norwegians. My wife is half Norwegian. I care about the Norwegians, obviously. So we'll see if anything comes out on the Swissy. So for I mean, trading press conferences is slightly suicidal because they'll say one thing and it will do that, then they'll say something else and it'll do that, then they say something else and it does that, or they say three things in a row that do that, that, and that. You've no idea what's going to happen in a press conference. Everything they say in the press conference could be what we're expecting, and we don't actually get any information out, in which case it just kind of does that. So you don't know what's going to happen with it at all. But at the moment, it is bullish Swiss. They have gone with the 0.5%, which is a big hike for them, very big hike for them. If you look at their history, yeah, and what we're used to with the Swiss is since 2019 is a negative interest rate, the same as the Japanese. And they gave us that whacking great shock, which completely tanked the US dollar Swiss for a month, which we weren't expected. And since then, they've moved in 0.5%, very, very nice and orderly. Their inflation is the lowest around, and it's not going up by much at all. So this is still massively bullish Swiss. The Swiss franc, though, is not one of those currencies which is consistently strong in one direction. We get pushes and pulls as money flows in and out of the Swiss, which is usually from the European Union. So it is an erratic currency, which is why a lot of traders don't trade the Swiss franc, because it is very unpredictable. Because you never know how much money from the billionaires is needing to go into the Swiss banking system. That's where it tends to go, because it's a haven. So, and obviously when we have crisis, we get safe haven rushes on the Swiss franc as well. So we will see. It doesn't sound like anything's coming out of the SMB press conference at the moment, if it's even underway. Oh, here we go. Chairman Jordan is speaking now. Swiss measures have put a halt to the CS crisis. So we'll listen for red news. We'll get the red news squawk to us. So see if we hear anything. AZ, in the course, there's a few different drawdown control options you talk about. In here, when you say you had to do drawdown control on a position, which type do you mean? So it's just scaling out with 1/3%. This is all being done by the EA. So what the EA is doing is, with this position here, when we get a certain distance away, the EA triggers drawdown control. There's lots of different ways to do it. You can do it on position drawdown. So you could say, when my entire position gets to 2%, do some drawdown. You can do it on an individual trade. So when one trade gets to a monetary amount, do some drawdown. You can say, when I get one ADR away from my initial position, take some off. There's no right or wrong, and I tend to run different ways on different strategies, basically. But there's no one that works. It's entirely down to you. Where's the pound card there? So this is running 1 ADR per trade, scanning out of 1/3. That's what it should be doing anyway. That isn't actually what it's doing, is it? I just realized that. That's 1 ADR, isn't it? Yeah, I know what it's doing. So with the set files that I've got running on here on H1, this is an important point actually. With the set files that I've got running on this terminal, some of these I forgot to set the drawdown control on. So basically what I had, I just realized why it's done what it's done. Some of these I had the drawdown set up, but that was deactivated. Yeah. So what I did was I activated that. But when you change this setting, it will only apply this to trades that it takes after the setting is done. Yeah. But it will retrospectively apply it to previous ones. So what the EA did in this particular case, this is why you set up you do set and forget, because this is what screws up EAs. That is 1 ADR, and that's exactly what it should be doing. But because these were taken before I set that, it's done them all at once, which is why it's taken a bit more of a loss than it should have done. That makes sense. So that is the trade that all of this drawdown was triggered on. Normally what would happen is, as in this case, when it gets 1 ADR away, there and there. So ADR on this is 118 at the moment. So that is, there is 70 something pips. That there is 150 odd pips. So when this got to here, the ADR was around about 78, 80 or something. Yeah, so it took one off there, and then it took another third off there, because that is 1 ADR. That is 1 ADR. So it takes off those two, and then it gets out there. But drawdown control is really up to you. How you set it is kind of a personal preference. Do it manually. That's how I used to do it, and how I still do. You know, if I see something that's getting out of control, like pound CAD, I'm keeping my very, very close eye on pound CAD at the moment. Obviously, drawdown control is being done on it, but I'm looking to get into aggressive on this. I've got 4 positions on it now. Not massively in drawdown, but it's getting to the point where, unless we get some positive news off the US and we get some oil movement, I can see this kind of just grinding and grinding and grinding. So the next downward move, I need to get some position on. But again, it's a manual thing. But I would recommend you just do it on a regular basis. So half an ADR to an ADR, start doing drawdown control. But again, it's up to you. Oil pumping, is it? We're certainly not getting anything coming out of the Swiss. Like he said a couple of things, and now he's gone off for a cup of tea or something. Oil. Pumping where? It's not going anywhere. I wouldn't call that a pump. It's 6 pips. It's called an ADR. Any thoughts on pound US dollar? So yeah, pound US dollar is bearish at the moment. Well, it's bullish at the moment, as in it's going up. From a sentiment perspective, it's bearish, yeah? Yeah, pound US dollar is bearish. At the moment, though, we've got retail all short on it, which is what we want to do. So therefore, it's pushing up. But as you can see, COT is short. Fundamentals are fairly mixed on it at the minute, because we've got such high interest rates, obviously, on the pound, and they're going up again. So we're going to go up to 4.25 now on the pound this afternoon. It's 4.25, isn't it? Yeah. So it's very, at the moment, you would expect the pound to be coming down against the US, but the US has been fairly weak, and we've had this really strong pound push at the moment. But grand scheme of things, this is a pullback on a kind of bear move. So we would be expecting that and that level to hold moving forward on the pound US dollar. So I'll be looking for short opportunities on it ideally, but you can really trade it in any direction at the moment, as you can see. So any extension is fair game, basically. At the moment, you're kind of sitting in no man's land from a support resistance perspective. Your next high is 150 ADR. So somewhere up in here, I would expect to get some kind of bounce. But, you know, it's very, very orderly. Look, nice pushes and pulls. But overall, I would be looking for it to come down, but either direction. My strategy is the same. Yeah, when you ask me to analyze things, if it's not extended, I'm not interested. Because when you are taking trades, as far as I'm concerned, and you have got no extended conditions in the market, there is a very much a 50-50 chance of it going up and down. When you've got an extended condition in the market, there is still a 50-50 chance of it going up and down. However, the probability of a profit take is higher. Yeah, so where the hell are the Swiss? What sort of press conference is this? It's the worst press conference in the world. It's not even saying anything. Weird. Oh well, we'll just hang. We'll hang for a minute and wait for the Swiss to talk. My bad. Pumping on the 1 minute chart. Yes, it will be pumping on the 1 minute chart. Everything pumps on the 1 minute chart. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Like a toilet seat. Morning, everyone. Morning, Andres. Aussie dollar, US dollar, short. Find out later. Tune in this afternoon at 12:30 for the unemployment claims for the US dollar. You will find out whether it goes long or short. At the moment, bias is for a short. We've got no retail bias, cot short. Fundamentals, pretty mixed. Fundamentals are mixed across the board at the moment on everything. Interest rates is the main thing you want to really pay attention to at the moment. So Aussie US, we've pushed up into propulsion. It's a downward spiral, obviously. This is probably going to become orphaned, I reckon. I'm not sure we're actually going to get back up there, but if we get positive unemployment claims this afternoon, i.e. unemployment goes up, we are going to continue to make progress. But I see this basically as just as a flag ready to go short. So we just got extended, and possibly it's not extended enough for me, but possibly going to start coming down from here. But resistance got broken with FOMC yesterday, this area here. But it's looking like it's rejecting. We've got a very nice big wick there. So if we break back down below that level into these propulsion gaps, which are going to get tested, there's, I think, every possibility of that. But 12:30 this afternoon, when we get the unemployment figures, we'll probably find the US dollar will start to take off in one direction or the other. The problem we've got at the moment is obviously we had FOMC last night. We had the rates coming out as expected. Sorry, not there. We had the rates coming out as expected. Sorry, one sec. Pound odd. Okay. So I just got into a pound odd. Well, I just got an alert to get into a pound odd short. And I can't remember why. Oh, yeah. So pound odd, just while I'm talking about it, because I just got an alert on it. I was looking for a break below this level. And we've just tapped it again. So I've got a little alert set on this level to tell me when we're breaking above and below it, because I'm looking for the pound weakness to start to kick in. And it doesn't seem to be. And I was just going to play literally a quick short off of this, because we had a reversal alert on it, but the reversal alert was really ugly, because it was just basically it was FOMC, not FOMC. Yes, it was FOMC sort of aftermath, but we got high spreads on it before the swaps, which is why we got that push above the high. So I'm not even sure that happened. So I was just getting alerted when we're mucking around about this line. I'm teetering on the edge of hitting the sell button on this, because I think what we're doing here is literally just holding at those highs for a drop. We can't get through. This thing's been moving so fast and hard against the Australian dollar. I think we're at a point of exhaustion where we're going to come back down and get all these propulsion gaps filled. So I'm trying to play a swing on one of my prop accounts. And I keep thinking, no, I don't like it. Every time it alerts me, I look at it and go, nah, don't like it. It's just not, I'm waiting for some strength. What I'm looking for, basically, is some structure to break. I'm looking for a structure break and a pullback. We're not getting the structure break, which is why I'm teetering on the edge. Sorry, that just distracted me, that alert, because I've had that alert so many times now and I can't actually press the button on it. I should put the market reverse alert CA on, just let it get in. What was I talking about before that? Something to do with the US dollar, wasn't I? We were talking about the Aussie US, weren't we? Yeah. Thanks for the follow. Grow self-made. Hashtag grow self-made. You have to worry that these aren't actually people, they're bots. Yeah, I can't remember what I was talking about, sorry. So I was talking about something to do with the US dollar and something, I don't know, interest rates and all that malarkey. But Aussie dollar, US dollar we were looking at, weren't we, for a short. So yeah, again, same sort of principle. On that one, I like it short, but it's just not quite extended enough for me at the moment on anything.
Thanks for the follow.
Thanks for the follow, Bruno. Welcome aboard. 162 people. Wow. Only 73 likes. It's all right. I'm not offended by the other 90 odd of you that don't like me. That's fine. Don't worry about it. What do you say about Euro Yen, Andres? Euro Yen, I've got a sell on at the moment. Big propulsion gap. We've just tapped into that one. So we're battling between these two at the moment. I'm just watching the DAX for a short, Phil. Waiting for the Swiss franc to... here we go. What? Say it again. Pop it up. What did you say? Something about rate hikes. Obviously not important.
This stream is sponsored by TickStrike. TickStrike allows you to actually hear order flow in futures, Forex, and stock instruments. Get a free trial at tickstrike.com. So
Euro Yen, God, I'm doing advertising for them now, aren't I? Euro Yen short.
As a rate hike won't have a negative impact in the situation.
Short on that RSI extension into propulsion. There's a possibility of this coming back up to origin. This is what. Thanks for the follow, whoever that was. Parenting journey. I'm on one of those. There's a possibility of it coming back up to fill this propulsion gap. So I'm an initial short here. We've just had a reverse alert on the hourly. We've got these propulsion gap targets to the downside. So that's what I'm kind of looking for initially, and then potentially a push back up.
The UBS no longer expects the Fed to hike interest rates and lowers the total rate forecast range 5% to 5.5%, 5.25 to 5.5% previously. Right.
So UBS basically have now removed their 5.25 hike expectation down to 5. So again, thinking that this is going to be terminal rate for the US dollar. We keep thinking this. Everybody keeps saying, oh, we're reaching terminal rate, and we keep popping these 0.25s in. So I mean, when I was saying in the Telegram group yesterday, it's really mixed views on this, because we're not used to seeing this, and we're really not sure how far they have to go. It's all driven by inflation and unemployment, and we got the unemployment this afternoon. So it's interesting. UBS now are saying that they think this is terminal rate. So could well be. It's right to hike rates in this situation. The rate hike won't have a negative impact on the situation. Yes. So it's again a bit more hawkish, Swiss. So yeah. So one or two things I see playing out on this. We're either going to go and test these propulsion gaps first, or we're going to come back up, return to origin, ADR, possibly take out the highs there, and then come back down from there to these areas. So either way, these are going to get sorted at some point. So it's, are we going to do that and that, or are we going to do that and that? Don't know, one or the other. I'm short because I've had an RSI extension to get in. So if I have to get in again, I'll get in again. If not, I'll get out. Still can't get that low on the DAX, look. Not enough positivity coming out of the Swissy.
Again, S&P Jordan say rate hike won't have a negative impact on the situation.
Pound CAD. I'm in short on pound CAD, waiting for some strength to come through on oil, to come back down into this propulsion gap. Or hopefully that one, because my average is here. I'm getting to the verge of needing to do some aggressive drawdown control positions. So I'm actually considering a short under this reversal alert. When we get a structure break, if we get a structure break today, what I might do is add a second position with a stop above the high. And that will bring my average up above this propulsion gap, which gives me an exit on that propulsion gap. But looking for shorts. Nicely extended. 4 hour was extended and embedded. You can see why I got in. Yeah. What we actually got was a balance push instead of a profit take. So there's a profit take coming on it. It's just a case of waiting. So we'll be pulling back into the 24.72 zone at some point. You know, so we push out, we push out, we push out. Yeah, we're coming back into here. I just don't know when. Timing, not something we can achieve. Bruno, here we go. Yep, no, so you were talking about the SMB. Nope, we're not going anywhere. Euro pound is going short, lending strength to the pound.
SMB's Chairman Jordan says that now it's really both parties do everything to make the taper successful. Next 2 weeks are crucial. Again, saying that now both parties will do everything to make taper successful, and the next two weeks are crucial.
Okay, so DAX has just broken lows. Looks like we're getting the gap fill. Anybody take that? Gap fill this morning. That's nice trade, that. So we'll see. We're getting no, I can't hear anything bearish coming out from SNB. So when the press conference is over, there's a chance we might get a rally on the Swiss. There you go. So there's that UBS news. No longer expects the Fed to rate hikes in June. They lower the terminal rate forecast range to 5 to 5.25 from 5.25 to 5.5. So they're saying potentially there's a possibility of a pause. Who knows? Euro pound. So what are you saying about euro pound? Euro pound is going short, lending strength to the pound. The euro pound is going short because the pound is rallying. And the euro is dropping. Yeah. So this is a weak euro, not a strong pound. This is a weaker euro than it is a strong pound. You can tell by looking at the euro pairs. All euro pairs are coming down. Pound pairs, some of them are going up a little bit, but not a lot. Tom, running through the bootcamp and thought I'd jump in and ask a quick question. Do you incorporate overnight fees into your P&L? As I guess some of the positions run for quite some time. Yes, but they're nothing. They're virtually zero. Your swaps will be nothing. You're trading tiny lot sizing. Yeah, we're trading like, well, it depends on the size of your account. It's all relative. If you're trading a 5K account, your overnight swaps and everything on an entire position might be what, $2, $3? It's not enough money. Forget fees. Only I don't forget fees. But yeah, I mean, look, if your broker's charging you nutty swaps and stupid commissions, obviously swap brokers, but your fees won't be enough to warrant any issues. Yeah, you're going to make way more money than you will in fees. Scalping is where you want to worry about fees because you're entering such high lot sizing. Your fees are actually quite big. Brian's using the lucky 8 ball again. Just light. You're doing an excellent job. Cool. Gold, please. Gold will move with the US dollar. So if the US dollar goes up, gold goes down. If the US dollar goes down, gold goes up. So the question is, which way is the US dollar going? I do not know. I do not possess a crystal ball. I should say that about all the US dollar crosses. So I like gold short at the moment. Personally, I don't trade it though. So we've got a reversal alert, we're retesting, and we've got a propulsion gap down there, and a propulsion gap down there, and a propulsion gap down there. Propulsion gaps get filled. Short. So hit the short button when you get reversal alerts on whatever time frame. There you go, M15, you just had a reversal alert short, hit the short button, trade it down to there. I don't know. I don't trade it. It's a US dollar cross, so it does the opposite to US dollar in the same way as the pound US dollar, the Aussie US dollar, the euro US dollar. It's a US dollar cross. So it's nice and shiny. It moves aggressively, but it's just a US dollar cross. Lots of downside targets on it, not many upside. Beautiful head and shoulders. One that actually worked. Would you believe it? Well, depends where your stop loss was off the shoulder, doesn't it? 1.5 to 1R. Woohoo! Not really worked, is it? GM, sorry, but your scream does not look well for me. Should be my internet. Your scream? What? Screen, right? If the screen looks blurry like that, go to settings and adjust it to 1440. Ta-da! It's crisp as you like. What broker do you use? It's nothing to do with me. It's YouTube and your internet. I'm streaming at 1440. If you've got low quality, it's your end, not mine. I have dropped. I'll tell you how many frames I've dropped today. 0. I am using 0.5% of my CPU running at 50 frames a second, and I have dropped no frames. My stream quality is good, and I've been doing this. We all yearn for the mines. What? Performance notifications. We all yearn for the mines. What the hell's that? Never seen that before. Anyway, it's not my end. It's you. It ain't me. It's you. Sounds like we're splitting up, doesn't it? Admin. Any possible gold to 1965? Definitely. Definitely. Let's look at some levels. $1965. Yep. Definitely going to get down there. You're probably trading something silly like a 1 minute chart or something, aren't you? If you're trading the 5 minute chart, you've just had a reversal alert. That's where it's coming. First, the FOMC.
Jordan says that Swiss banks are not exposed to US bank failures.
The FOMC propulsion gap. Yeah. But I would be looking, I don't know if you're obviously trading short term, but I would be looking for that over time. Okay, that's it. Caught up on chat. So DAX is coming down. Gap fill is just about to complete on the DAX. If you took that this morning, well done. Very difficult to get into this morning. The open was pretty horrific, obviously. So, but once we took that high, we haven't looked back. So once that gap fills, we'll probably find some limit triggers here, which will pull it back up into propulsion, possibly. Although I'm not sure it will get back up there yet. And we might make a run for the gap. So that is still on the cards. And it will fill. And we're on Thursday now. Most of the time when you look at gaps, it's unusual they don't fill within, you know, most gaps fill same day. So that one there, look, filled. This one filled. This hasn't filled yet. So I suspect today we may well get that. If we get positive US news, i.e. unemployment figures come down in the US, we're going to get a lot of strength in the indices this afternoon. Sorry, we've got a lot of weakness in the indices this afternoon. And that will help drag the DAX down as well. So there's a good chance that we're going to get that push down this afternoon on the positive unemployment figures. But we need positive unemployment figures. So unless we get those, we're not going to know for sure, are we? So thanks for the follow, Imran. Welcome aboard. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens this afternoon with that. But I haven't got any other analysis to do because there are no ADRs yet. We're waiting for news. I've done all the RSIs. Your US dollar is looking even more juicy now. You just had a reversal alert M15 this morning. It's coming down B nicely. Beautiful. M pattern, divergence. That is where we're headed in all likelihood. However, I think we're probably doing that, but that's going to depend on that. Also, be aware that the euro is going to move on the pound this afternoon because the pound and the euro are close trade partners. So our overnight rate is important to the euro because they have money with us. So this will affect the euro as well. But we are expecting this. So it really comes down to what Bailey's put in the monetary policy statement this afternoon and what the bank vote rates come out as. So if we don't get as expected bank vote rates, that will impact as well, because that will be an indication. This is a big indicator of what's going to happen with the rates. So thanks for the follow, Ashmal. Welcome aboard. Oh, and Viral Tech Tamil. Uh-oh. Tamil does viral tech. That doesn't sound good, does it? Did you release the cordyceps virus in The Last of Us and kill everybody? Is that you? So what this is basically, if you read it, is the number of people that are voting to increase rates, keep rates where they are, and decrease rates. So we have 9 members that basically decide on which way it goes. So this is the expectation. If 1 or 2 of them come out very much in a pause or a decrease, which is less likely, i.e. this becomes the minority number, the 7 becomes the minority number, or lower, and let's say we get a 3 in the middle and a 2 there and a 5 there. Yeah, wouldn't get that because that doesn't add up to 9, does it? Let's say we get a 4 there. If that was to happen, that's bad, because it means that we're looking more like a pause stroke drop on the pound. So this is actually quite key. The monetary policy statement summary obviously gives forward guidance as to what Bailey thinks we're going to do. But if they are arguing about it, it's not good. So we will get that. It's very, very unlikely that that won't happen. But this is also going to affect it quite bad as well. So keep your eyes peeled on that. But we'll see what happens. So grow self-made gold analysis again. I've done gold already. I don't know. I'd sell it if I were you, but saying can I analyze gold is like saying can somebody analyze something else? I don't know. You look like a gold trader. Even your logo in the chat looks like it's something to do with gold. So you're obviously a signal service, and I'm not giving them out. Sorry. I don't do that. Go and watch my bootcamp. Learn to trade. Have you ever traded ES or NAS? Yeah, I trade it every afternoon. Frederick, I can't analyze those this morning because this afternoon is when they move. So there's no point in looking at these now, because the movement on these is going to be this afternoon. They move at 1:30, or they move at the New York Open. So, and also there's no point in doing analysis really on indices, because what's happened yesterday hasn't got any impact on today. But after an FOMC move, if we get that propulsion gap filled and we get positive unemployment figures, we're going to find the indices coming down this afternoon to fill that propulsion gap. So 12:30 this afternoon, we've got the US news. The US news is going to impact this. So I would say we'd be looking for shorts today, but it could equally come up and take those highs first and come and do that next week. But US indices overall are a mess. Yeah. At the moment, they're an absolute mess. Yeah. We're in the middle of a bear market, a bear volatile market.
Jordan, as that supervision has to be adjusted to the situation.
So yeah, we're in the middle of a bear volatile market.
This stream is sponsored by To The Tick.
I'm just going to turn him off.
Free daily points.
There's nothing coming.
And market profile levels.
Wait, just turned you off.
Signing up at tothetick.com.
Just turned you off. Go away. How dare you not go away when I turn you off? So yeah, we're in a bear volatile market coming out of a bull run. And at the moment, literally, we are going sideways. The market is in a state of fear and greed flux, and there's no movement, basically. So you can't really glean any information from analyzing any daily charts or anything. This was FOMC yesterday. What's that got to do with today? Yeah, we still have got no analysis. It's self-grow, right? Grow self-made. Here's your analysis on gold, right? If the US dollar goes up this afternoon, this is going to go down. If the US dollar goes down this afternoon, this is going to go up. What more do you want, right? This is a US dollar cross. This afternoon, we have one of the most important news announcements for the US dollar that we've had for ages, since yesterday, actually. But another massively important one. If the unemployment figures come out less than expected, the US dollar will rise, gold will come down. If they come out as bigger than expected, the US dollar will drop and gold will go up. There's your analysis. What you do right now, today, up until 12:30, has got bugger all to do with anything, because all it's going to do is flatline and go sideways. So if you think, using your crystal ball, that the US dollar is going down this afternoon, buy gold. If you think the US dollar is going up this afternoon, sell gold. Ta-da! There's your analysis on gold. Other than that, I can't help you. I don't trade it. And that's basically what it does. So, stop asking for gold analysis. Do it yourself. It's very easy. I don't trade like that. I love it. I love it. Gold. Everybody loves it. You're in that group on Telegram, aren't you, that's been told to come and pester me about gold? I'm sure there's a group going where everyone's going, go and tell this guy to analyze gold. He goes mental. But if you keep spamming chat, I am going to block you and you won't be able to comment again. So I'd stop it if I were you. Sideways on US dollar. So on indices. And again, this is going to be impacted this afternoon by US dollar. But technical analysis on indices, it works in the fact that you get limit order triggers set at these levels. So the longer term traders, the institutions that are looking for long-term hedges and long-term movement, basically, in the futures market and in the stock market, they will have long-term positions put on at levels of support and resistance. So levels of support and resistance obviously do work, but this is affected by the fundamentals with the US dollar. So at the end of the day, if you get to a technical level when there's been a massive shift in US dollar sentiment, it's just going to blow straight through it. And it works the same as everything else. So at the minute, for these, I trade the indices literally on M5 and I take opening range breakouts. That's the only way I trade indices, yeah? So I'll be looking for, at the open, a range breakout and quick scalps, or to get into a breakout situation where you can get a trend. It's a trend strategy. So I don't really do long-term analysis on the indices because I believe the indices are a momentum product and you should trade them when the momentum is there at 1:30 UK time or 2:30 UK time, depending on what your clocks are. So I will be trading those this afternoon, assuming I get back from my physio appointment in time, which I will let you know in Telegram. So if you're not in the Telegram group, go and join the Telegram group. Brian's probably just spat his coffee all over his screen again. Retail is shorting gold by Daily FX. Right, so retail sentiment. If you want to know the sentiment on gold, it's on my website. XAU. Retail is shorting gold. Therefore, you should be longing it right now. But retail has nothing to do with news. Yeah. So what you see on retail sentiment, you basically will go out the window on fundamentals. Yeah. So fundamentals don't have anything to do with retail sentiment. Doesn't have anything to do with fundamentals. They will just trump it completely. Open a chart of the US dollar and do the opposite. There you go, as Brian's just said. Good morning, Yaman. Do you think it's a good idea to trade indices on a prop firm? Yes, definitely. I trade indices on the prop firm all the time. However, interesting statistic for you. Interesting statistic for you. Come on. Blimey, where's their oh yeah, there. So I missed it. It's right at the top, idiot. Interesting oh, that one I want. Interesting statistic on my Forex funds, yeah. This is evaluation account statistics, yeah. The least profitable pair for February was the Dow Jones. The second least profitable pair for February was the Nasdaq. The third least profitable pair was the DAX. Interesting. The least profit made is in the indices. Yeah. Of those that passed and reached a live account but failed their account before the first payout, which is around about 85% of people that achieve a funded actually never get paid because they blow it, the majority had at least one trade in the Dow. So what it's saying is, do not trade the indices. Why?
S&P's Chairman Jordan says
I've turned you off.
Would have risked triggering bigger financial crisis.
He off. I turned the button off. Yeah, so interesting stats. So if you want to be profitable in prop, don't trade these. However, I am profitable in prop and I trade these, but when I blow my accounts, another interesting statistic, when I blow my accounts, it's usually on index trades. So because index trades are either rotation days or trend days, all covered in the on the website. If you go to the website and go to the ORB strategy, I'll show you quickly. We get trend days, yeah, and then we get parabolic trend days, which are our opening range breakout. These are the ones we make the money on with the ORB EA. And then we get rotation days where it basically just goes up, down, up, down, up, and down, and everybody gets killed. And it's very wicky. You get lots of wicks, like really long wicks all over the place. Yeah, that's where Mr. Wick comes in. So on these, what people tend to do is they get into a period where they're trying to mean revert a lot of the time. I think this is where everybody gets killed. They try and mean revert on the trend days. Yeah, because you get these parabolic days where everybody's trying to catch the high and get that beautiful move down, and they just get killed. And I think this is what kills people on prop, because they're all trading the M5 chart. They're all trading the open. And what they should be doing is trading futures. They shouldn't be trading CFDs, because when you're trading candlestick patterns like this, it's much more difficult on prop. So I think that's what kills people. And that's where I blow most of my accounts. Actually, I blow most of my accounts on choppy ORB days. But the other thing that kills people, yeah, here, and why I think they blow these accounts is because they're copying people. There are certain traders out there that trade those live. And what they try and do is they copy them. And what they don't realize is those traders are much better and executing much faster than they are. And what they're doing is holding on to the trades, thinking, I don't want to take a 10 pip scalp, which has made me $4,000. I want to take that trade and I'm only in $100 profit, so I'll hold it. And all they do is they get stopped out over and over again, which makes them rage, which makes them double their account size, and then they blow it. So, yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting statistic. Oh, yeah. I had this up. I forgot about this, completely forgot about this. So somebody in Telegram, he's probably not here now because I'm like 2 hours into the stream and he asked me to cover this. David, I don't know which David it was either. There's loads of David, isn't there? But the David that asked me in Telegram about this, right? I've got a signal running on MQL5 marketplace, which has been running for 76 weeks, 174% in profit. He asked me what pairs it's trading. So this is trading the H1 M5 market reverse alert set file. Yeah, it's been trading it for 76 weeks. He asked me what pairs it traded. And I suddenly remembered on the marketplace, it shows you all the trades taken in a nice easy chart. So there's your answer, David. This is 1 minute 54 in. So I will I will message you in Telegram and tell you to go and watch the replay at 1 minute 54. Those are the ones it's taking, right? So these ones, it was set up on, as you can see, it only took a few. I took it off of these because we had too much exposure on the yen and the Swiss. In fact, it was testing on the yen and the Swiss, so it's overall removed. So these are the ones it's trading. Yeah. And the reason it's trading those only is because it keeps exposure down. So I can't get into too much exposure, or rather the EA cannot get too exposed to one instrument at a time. And as you can see, it trades both directions. Yeah, there you go. So sorry, I completely forgot about that. If you are in here, brilliant. If you're not, sorry. There you go. Brian. Sir, gold analysis. Sir, gold analysis. Sir, gold analysis. Please, please, I want to make a Lamborghini money on gold, sir. Please, give me signal. I sell your signal to someone else. Other people pay me for your signal. Help, I don't know how to trade. Sorry, I don't know where you come from, but that's 90% of the people that ask for signals. Retail is shorting gold. Yeah, we've covered that already. Morning, have said that. Yemen, yep. Prop, good idea to trade indices on prop. Are you going to be live streaming New York session? I am trying to. Yes. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I've got a answer phone message from the surgery. No, they have just phoned and they haven't texted. Okay. So I've got a physio appointment at 1 o'clock this afternoon, literally at the end of my road. So I will be on normally at 1:20 for the New York session, but I'm not sure when I'm going to be back from my physio appointment. So I might be late today and I might miss the open. But hopefully my physio appointment is only going to be about 5 or 10 minutes because she's just assessing the strength in my left arm. I've got a trapped nerve basically, and she needs to assess whether or not I need a scan. And the way she does that is by testing the strength in my arm to see if I've got muscle weakness. So literally it should be a case of, hello, how are you? Put your arms here, push my arms apart, pull my arms together, push them up, push them down. Yep, looks like it's okay. Off you go, bye. And I'm gone in 5 minutes. So I should be here for New York. That isn't how she talks, by the way. She's a really lovely lady, and she doesn't talk like that at all. But that's the only female voice I've got, so that's what you get. So yes, I will be. If I'm not here for the open, though, I'll be here very, very soon after. But the stream is still scheduled for 1:20. I blow 3 evaluations in 10 days. Yeah, I do too, Yaman. No, not in 10 days, I don't. But I will blow evaluations multiple times. Indices and gold. There you go. Right. So, Yaman, I have a video on YouTube. Yeah, which I just posted this week called, not that one. Yes, this one. Look at this. Look at this one and look at the title. Yeah. Increase your trading profits. Just remove your losses. Why I don't trade gold. And I purposely put that in gold on a gold background because that is the important message. The fact that I personally don't trade gold has not really got anything to do with it. But go and watch that video. Yeah. The message in there, which might be quite hidden because I'm quite sarcastic, but the message in there is if you've blown 3 evaluations, right, trading indices and gold, what do you need to stop trading? Yeah. And you've just said it. I've just seen you've just said it in your next comment. Or Forex pairs much easy to pass. Yeah. So if you're blowing accounts trading indices and gold, stop trading indices and gold and trade Forex. Ta-da! And this video explains how I do the analysis to discover what is not making me money. I've got some of my figures wrong in this video, I noticed when I was watching it back. So, but the message is the same, yeah? Do an analysis. If you find that you trade gold, you're trading ES, you're trading YM, oh, these are future symbols. You're trading the Dow, sorry, the S&P. That's SHP, whatever that is, S&P. And you're trading euro, US dollar, pound yen, and pounds US dollar, for example, right? If they're all negative, and these are a negative, a positive, that tells you that these are no good. You can't trade these. You're crap. Stop it. They're completely different instruments. Every instrument has a different ADR. Yeah. Every instrument has a different volatility, which is kind of ADR. Every instrument moves in a different way because of the level of volume that goes through it. Yeah. So if you are the type of trader that gets really good results when things are nice and stable, or things are slow, like Aussie, New Zealand, and you're really terrible because you try to catch moves on massively fast moving indices at opens, yeah, that tells you what type of trader you are. Everybody's completely different. Everybody's got a different way that they work, right? So basically, you need to identify what works for you and what doesn't work for you and remove it. So I don't trade gold, and this reason is a sort of standing joke in this room. I don't trade gold because I make losses on it regularly. So if I eliminate that, and I have eliminated it, and I do not trade it, I will not lose money. Yeah. If I had $10,000 of profit in a month, yeah, and I look at my portfolio every month for the last 6 months, I've made $10,000, for example, so I've made 60K. If every single month in those 6 months, there was a negative 1,200, or let's make it easy, there was a negative 1,000 on an instrument, right? If I'd removed that from my portfolio, what would my profit be? 11. So now all of a sudden I've made 66,000 instead of 60. And all it takes is you removing the things that you're no good at. Yeah. The best way to make money is not to find a new system or strategy that's better than the one you've got. The way to make money is trade the strategy you're good at, but remove the instruments that don't make you the money. And there will be some there. You'll find that a lot of people are no good on the yen. A lot of people are no good on the Swiss franc, because that's a volatile beast. That's a safe haven. Everybody's good on the majors. Why are you good on the majors? Because the majors are controlled by the US dollar. And as you've got all the strongest currencies in the world trading against the very strongest currency in the world, what do you get a lot of? Push and pull. What's that good for? Making money. Why do we trade the majors? Because they have a really nice market structure. What do we need to make money? Market structure. If it moves up and it moves down, we can make money. If it goes sideways, we can't. If it's volatile as crap and goes sideways for 6 or 12 hours and then suddenly explodes and does that, if you miss that move, you're not going to make money. What's that? A stock index. Yeah. Identify what works, eliminate what doesn't, analyze your P&L. Yeah, this is why my trades are plotted on the chart here. Look. Yeah. If I look at the pound CAD, right, over a period of however long, and I see constant, oh my God, this never works, does it? What do I need to eliminate? Pound CAD. What's that going to do? Make me more profitable. But unless you do the analysis, you're never going to find that out. Yeah. So go and do that. But you seems like you've identified it. You've just said you've blown 3 accounts in 10 days trading indices and gold. Stop trading those. Trade Forex. It's going to be a slower, right? A slower burn. Forex, you're not going to make money as fast in Forex because you'll probably be trading proper time frames like the hourly and the 4 hourly. You won't be tempted to go down to M5. But market prop firms promote you to go on to M5. They want you on M5 because they want to give you you can make money fast. You can get this 8K pass today if you're really, really good on low time frames. But what are you not? 99% of traders are crap on low time frames. Pound odds just moved. Just had a reversal out on pound odd. This is this instrument I'm watching. I'm really, really up for a short on pound odd. I'm going to take that actually. I'm going short on the pound. This is not on this account. This is on a proper account. So okay. So target on this This is a prop trade, right? So it's got to stop. My stop is quarter of an ADR above that high. So somewhere around there. Where are we? 39. So ADR basically, isn't it? Oh yeah, it is. Yes, ADR. Couldn't see it. So stop is ADR. I'm short. We've basically batted up into this level. Yeah. Reason for this short is we batted up into this level. This is not an RSI. This is not a typical H1 M5 mean reversion. This is a prop, so I'm not position trading this. So we've batted up into this resistance. Yeah. And we got stuck there and rejected it. We've tried to get through it again. We've rejected it. We've tried to get through it on FOMC. We've rejected it. Yeah. We keep trying to get through this level and we're failing. Yeah. We're running out of steam here. The reason I'm interested in taking this today is because we've got the rates coming out on the pound. So what I'm looking for is either a whipsaw on the rate announcement to take that high out, which is why my stop is a quarter of an ADR away, and then some kind of weakness on the pound to go forward. So I'm hoping that we're going to get negative forward guidance on the pound. What I'm hoping for is a 4.25 interest rate, and then what I'm hoping them to have forward guidance for is we're going to freeze. Yeah. And I think that the government is, or the central bank is stupid enough to do that because the pound has got the worst inflation in the world and our inflation figures have just gone up, not down. So, but they're so worried about increasing interest rates. I've got a feeling the forward guidance is going to be maybe for another 0.25, which is not bullish enough to get on top of inflation, in which case the market will see that negatively, or they're going to ask for a freeze, which the market will see as negative. So this is a pure speculative trade. If they come out at 4.5, which won't happen, but if they come out at 4.25 and said, we're definitely going to put another 0.5% based on what's just happened with inflation, it's going to go through the roof and it's going to stop me out. Fine, I accept that. But the reward on this, yeah, on this entry here, on this reversal alert we just had on M5, yeah, look at the risk reward on it. So it's 100 points to the upside. I mean, downside is probably going to be these lows, but these propulsion gaps down here, even if you target the closest one, you're looking at a 4-to-1 R. So it's a really good opportunity short. I just get the feeling we've got so much strength that's come in with this pound. It's not really strength. It's just everything's been really weak and the pound hasn't. And that's what's given it this little bit of a boost. I just get the feeling this is over soon. Yeah, we are not. The fundamentals are absolutely terrible for the pound. Yeah, it's awful. Look at that. Our inflation is going up. Our interest rates are behind our main competitors. Yeah, and we're going up to 4.25%. We're still lagging with the highest, worst inflation in the world. This is all negative pound. I really can't see why this pound is actually this strong. I can only assume it's because we've got a strong banking sector, which is wobbly at the moment at best, isn't it? So I'm just really bearish pound. Yeah, so that's the reason for that trade. The purely speculative one ahead of the news, because I'm hoping the news is not going to rally in the same way as the US dollar dropped. Yeah, so the US dollar dropped yesterday, remember? Yeah. So there you go. There's that US dollar Swiss, guys. Whoever said about getting that back up to there, it's done it. So US dollar dropped on a positive rate increase. Yeah. So we got, as expected, US dollar dropped. That's what I'm looking for today on the pound. Potentially a drop on the pound. However, it could well whipsaw. So with any of these pound pairs, yeah, that sort of movement and then come down. A little bit like what the Swissies just done, look. Whipsaw down, eliminated everybody that was long in Asia. Whipsaw up, eliminated everybody that's taken a short because of that candle. They're all out of it. So we've cleared the decks. Now we can go whichever way we fancy, which I'm hoping is going to be up there. Right, let me just catch up in the chat because I was just talking about stuff. I think my gold guy wants entry X, TP1, TP2, TP3. Yeah. Anybody that uses 3 TPs is also completely out of their head. There's nothing that works. Another thing that gets my goat about all these courses and these signal services that give you multiple TPs. If you get into a trade, right, and you go long, and there's 3 TPs, what have you got to do? You have got to either split that trade into 3 positions, or you've got to scale out of that trade a third of it at a level. Let's say we had TP1, TP2, and TP3. Yeah. First of all, the chances of hitting TP3 are well outside of ADR, so you're probably not even going to get there. But what happens is you take 3 positions, for example, and then that trade fails. It hits the stop. So what have you got? You've got 3 losses. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2, it goes up to TP1. You get 1 TP, and it comes down, and it stops the rest of them out at break even. Yeah, so what have you got? You've got 1 win. So every time you take a trade, unless you get TP2, because TP1 is usually somewhere around 1-to-1, and that's usually around 2-to-1, unless you hit that and get a win there, and then another break even, all you're ever doing is running a negative risk reward. Because every time you get stopped out, you lose 3 trades. And every time you hit TP1, you gain 1 trade. So you're still negative 2. It's got to get to these targets, isn't it? Doesn't work. Get in, set a stop, set a target. Stop scaling. It just doesn't work. Unless you're using a really tight, if you're going with a stop down there, for example, and you've got TP1 there, TP2 there, so that by the time you've hit TP2, you've got decent small profit, probably a 1.5R or a 1.25R, that would work. But then you've still got to get your runner, and your runner 90% of the time will stop you out. Why? Because you use a break even. What happens with break even stops? You get broken even. Market takes it, doesn't it? So yeah, Jonathan, I totally agree. He's off to go and run his little signal service on gold with without my signal. You watch, he's just said go short on it, basically, isn't he? What indicator is that? K4 deck. Which one? I don't know. There's loads of them. They're all on the website. Go to the website. Indicators. There goes a link. What you're looking for is in that link. I don't know which one you were looking at the time, but it's in there. Just seeing if this is affecting me Swissy wise now. Right. Generally speaking, am I right that bearish US dollar is bullish indices? Yeah, most of the time. Is that just based on whether US dollar has been moving based on fundamental data? If US dollar's move is due to banks profit taking, does the same apply? No, this is why you get a little bit of divergence, and it's not strictly true that the US dollar strength is weakness in the indices. So what tends to happen, Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. June, welcome aboard. I kind of explained this yesterday. When there is a run on the stock market, the stock market, this stock market, the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the S&P are priced in US dollars. So when you get a lot of stock buying, there is a lot of dollar used to buy stocks most of the time. So what that does is it drives down the US dollar as money flow. There's a thing called M1 money flow and M2 money flow within economics. You don't need to know much about them, but money flow is used often to buy stocks. So this is really when you see a big push. So what actually is happening is the US dollar is coming down because of the stock market rather than the stock market going up because the dollar's coming down. That's really what's happening. Same with the euro. The DAX is priced in euros, and the same happens there. News events mean there is a large flow of money into an index to make a profit. So if we get a news event that drives a lot of money, so looking at the NASDAQ, when there's a news event that drives a lot of money into a particular currency, i.e. an interest rate change or something like that that's not expected, what happens is people tend to pull money out of the stock market to put in there to make speculative money. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. I've just got to take this call because it is my surgery. 1 sec. Excellent. My physio is now 11 o'clock. They've had a cancellation, which is good because that means I can come on the stream as normal. So I'll definitely be back by 11, unless she sends me to the hospital for a scan, in which case you probably won't see me for 3 days. But yeah, so that's good. So yeah, so that's basically how it works. So it's all to do with money flow between instruments, and the stock market you need to buy, and you buy it typically with dollars. And we're talking like multi-million pound stock sector purchases, not you and me buying 50 shares in Microsoft. Yeah, it's not that stuff. So that's really what the relationship is. But there's other things that obviously affect it. But typically that's why we tend to see that negative correlation between the two. But more recently, it hasn't necessarily been moving that way. So the spikes that you get tends to, so where's 8 o'clock? 8:30, isn't it? I want there. Yeah. So you see there, we got a positive spike as we got a negative spike. Kind of need to be seeing it on another time frame, don't you? Yeah. So we got a positive spike as we got a negative spike, then we got a positive spike, then we got a negative spike. Yeah. So as that goes down, this goes up. As that goes up, this goes down. But the degree to which it moves will massively vary. So you can never say, oh, this is going back up to there, so that is going down to there, because there is 100 stocks involved there, and this is one currency. So the correlation is very hard. If you're looking for a way to trade correlation, and again, I had this YouTube video come up yesterday of a bloke selling a correlation course now. I hadn't seen it before, but you can't trade correlation. I've looked into it. It's not something that really works, because by the time you've spotted the correlation's happened. You know, so I wouldn't worry about it. But it's at the end of the day. Pound US dollar. Pound US dollar is going to move today at 12 and 12.30. Yeah. So I couldn't give you any analysis on pound US dollar today, because at 12 o'clock it's going to go absolutely nuts on the pound, and at 12.30 it's going to go absolutely nuts on the US dollar. And whether that comes out as a different number or that comes out as a different number is going to be what's going to drive it. So if you're going to trade the pound US dollar now, you are literally gambling, which is fine. Gambles pay off. It's midline M15 going nowhere. It's flatlined pretty much. So I've been looking more for shorts than longs, to be honest. But I can't really tell. Euro US dollar, no idea. Again, same thing. I'm short on it at the moment. How's it looking on my system? Well, on this particular variation of my system, it's looking lovely. So we had a short there, we had a short there, we had a long there, we had a short there, we had a long there, and we are in a short at the moment. So yeah, it's looking lovely. I can't tell you what's going to happen this afternoon, though. It's coming down beautifully at the moment, which is nice. Money coming back into the US dollar. So you're saying she talks like Eric Idle. What's that, an Eric Idle? Oh, yeah. He's been a very naughty boy. Have you broken your arm, or is it just a trapped nerve? Yes, it's a trapped nerve. Brilliant. I'm going to tell my physio that. I'm going to walk in. I've got a guy in my YouTube stream. He reckons you talk like Eric Idle. No, I don't. Oh, she beat me up. She's huge. Not in a nasty way. She's a physio, right? But she's very big, as in built. So I certainly wouldn't want to fight her. Think, I can tell you exactly who my physio looks like. Think Gwendolyn Christie. Oh, I can't spell. I still can't spell. Yeah, this is my physio. This is me. That's me. No, it's not. I'm a bit taller than him. I'm about here. Yeah, that's how I envisage my physio. But more looking like this. That's my physio. Look at the size of her. She's huge. She's about 6'4", and you wouldn't want to miss an appointment. She would get cross with you, and you would be forever regretting it. She spends her life bending people's arms into directions they're not meant to go. So you can imagine. I think she gets some satisfaction from it. So yeah, 11 o'clock. That's awesome. Right. I imagine you would save so much time adding an FAQs page and just sending people to that page before answering their questions here. I hear the same questions cropping up over and over. Yeah, well, I do videos on them. Anything that's really, really something that gets asked a lot, I tend to do videos on. And to be honest, 99% of everything that I say in here is all covered in the bootcamp. But it is a 5-day bootcamp, and I understand people are going to have questions about stuff a lot. And that's what the stream's for. It's to just basically get everybody together and hopefully make some money. Tim the Money, by the way, did you know you can trade frost futures according to the CME? You can't. That's a lie. I don't believe that one. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to. I know it's not there. Weather products homepage? You're kidding me. No, it's not frost futures. From heat waves to Arctic cold outbreaks, weather can often have a significant impact. But CME's group temperature-based index futures and options provide the tools to manage your weather risk. My God. My God, they've even got their own tickers. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm not trading that. I wonder if any of the prop firms allow you to trade frost futures. It is on the CME, so it might actually be tradable. I'm going to have a look. I want to know now. Can I trade frost futures? New York Harbor futures, live cattle, Henry Hub, gas, silver. No, I can't trade frost. That's a shame. I do like the odd lean hog every now and again. It's often interesting when you get one of those delivered on your front door. But yeah, no. Then you can't trade frost yet. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Trading frost. What are you buying today? Frost? I wouldn't buy that, mate. I've just bought a load of heat. Well, it's gone nuts. My most profitable pair is gold next to pound yen. Cool. Only trade on the 30-minute chart. Cool. I know exactly where you come from, KDEC. You are a Wicks don't lie, man. Simply brilliant. Cool. Seymour, I've been in and out of the office. Coffee, nip to the loo. Every time I return, I must have heard you say, I don't trade gold. People aren't getting the message. I know. The trouble is, I was looking at my statistics on YouTube the other day, right? We got 135 people in here right now. Out of the people that come in here, around about 60% of them are new visitors. So everybody coming in here is literally never heard me say I don't trade gold. And that's all that 90% of traders want to trade. Although when you look at the statistics, 99% of people can't make money on it long term. Short term, no problem. Everyone can make money short term on anything, but it's because they're new. So I think I'm going to have to just do analysis on gold. But what I will do is I'll put a little message up on the screen. I might create a little GIF, and it will say gold 0.50 minute, right, or something like that. So what I will basically put up here is a thing that says this is when I did the gold analysis. And when you ask for gold, go and watch the replay at 50 minutes. Then I've only got to do it once a day, haven't I? Or maybe what I should do is as soon as I come on out, I'll say hello to everybody and I'll go, right, gold. And then I can say to everybody, go straight to the beginning of the video. There's your gold analysis. And then it's out of the way. That's a bloody good idea, isn't it? Then we haven't got to worry about it. Oh my God, look at Mr. Look, Helpy FX is back, everybody. Appreciate the Helpy FX signals that you mentioned. Googled free group access. I'm making profits. Many thanks. we looked at these guys yesterday. For anybody that was in the New York session yesterday, we went to HelpyFX. Look, there he is. He's in my list. HelpyFX have got, you're not going to believe this, guys. You've got to sign up with these people. They are absolutely amazing. Their strike rate is 95%, up to 95%. So that could be anything from 1 to 94, couldn't it? But anyway, it's up to 95%. And they will return you somewhere between 23,500 and 47,000 pips. Unbelievable. Look at these wins. HelpyFX. And it's only, what was it, $199 a month? See the reviews. Okay. Join the VIP. Yeah, I just asked for that. Why are you not letting me do it? Good website, really good website. That's how to convert people. £199 for life to find out that your signals are crap and you change your signals all the time and you actually don't make any money. Wow. 500 to 2,500 pips a week. Amazing. So yeah, go join these guys, people. Let's have a look at the reviews. I went onto their chat yesterday and we used their chat system to chat to the guy and ask him how he got a 95% strike rate. And it's basically through good analysis. Jesus, their website's crap, look. Let's go. Sorry, I've got 2 tabs open. Can your server not handle 2 visitors at once? Right, here's the reviews. Oh, what a reviews page. Look at this. This guy's made $24. This guy's made $42. Yeah, these are all obviously bots, but for those of you that don't know how it works. Anyway, sorry, HelpyFX. Mustafa, welcome aboard. Let me just ban that guy as well. Just ban this HelpyFX bloke. Report. Unwanted commercial spam. Goodbye. He'll be back this afternoon. Just remove the stop loss. It might be a perfect trade. I don't know which one I was looking at. What leverage do you recommend while trading? It's up to you. If you're going to trade, if you're going to position trade, as per the bootcamp, you're going to need 1 to 200, maybe 1 to 100 as a minimum. If you're going to trade with a stop loss, doesn't matter. Stop loss, because you're going to get stopped out all the time. So you'll never hit your margin, will you? So the leverage isn't actually that important. Excuse me. So yeah, you only need big leverage and margin if you're going to position trade. 1 to 100, 1 to 200. If you use Forex, which is the broker that I use, you get 1 to 500. In fact, Forex got up to 1 to 1,000 now, but I wouldn't recommend that. There's absolutely no need for it. I don't even know why, but they do. You can't see correlations because you're using retail charts. Yep. You're using useless retail charts. Right, let's go for it, shall we? Ready? I'm going to see if we get him. I'm on a near-av hunt. Oh, no. That's no good. I was going on a near-av hunt. We didn't get him, unfortunately. That advert keeps coming up. Hero Wars. I do not play Hero Wars, and I don't know why they've targeted me, because I certainly would not be interested in playing that. Viral Tech Tamil admin, gold is going up when comes 1965 range, if you say so. Sounds like a good time. Yeah, 1965. Let's have a look at it. It's going up, is it, from there? Okay, if you say so. To me, it just looks like a completely random line on the chart, but if you say so. I have no idea why 1965 has any relevance whatsoever. Apart from the fact it's possibly somewhere around the right shoulder on that head and shoulder break. So it's a support resistance. Well, it's not even a resistance, is it? What it is actually is a double support line. hasn't become resistance. So in my opinion, you're much more likely to break below it to come up and retest it than you are to bounce on it a third time. And the fact that we're massively extended on there, I'd say we're probably going to blow straight through that at 12:30 this afternoon. But we will see. DAX gap fill is done, by the way, everybody. If you were trading the gap fill, good job. We've left obviously massive propulsion gaps in our wake, but there's two things at play now. We're either going to come down and do this gap and then come back up and do these propulsions, or we're going to come back and do these propulsions and then come down and do that gap. So where you are now, you're short. If you are still short, you're probably not still short because you would have got out on this bounce. Everybody would have got out on the gap fill bounce. Look. Well, I certainly would. Yeah, there's your gap fill. There's your limit orders triggering. Yeah, I would be out here. Or I would have been out on a TP there. And now we've broken down another leg. So if you are short or looking to short that low for the gap fill, you got a lovely short still on today. And then we'll come back up into these maybe this afternoon. It's unlikely we're going to get that gap fill. What is it? 100. It's only a quarter of an ADR. So that is actually achievable by New York Open. Well, actually 12:30. We've got until 12, haven't we, with a pound? So what could happen is basically that could get done on the news. If we get positive news, that will get done on the news. Then that frees up and move back up there, doesn't it? Possible nice short. Believe farmers, for example, use them to hedge. Yeah, so David, that is exactly what farmers will use to hedge. So farmers hedge, I'm going to give you a little history lesson now. The reason the futures market exists is actually for the agricultural community. So hedging was actually kind of invented, if you like, and the futures market was invented for the agricultural sector. And the main reason was for hedging corn. So the initial hedge and the initial futures contracts were for corn, and they were used by farmers basically to say, I have a crop of corn, which when it matures in 3 months' time will be worth X. However, if we have a flood, a lightning strike, or an outbreak of some nasty little beast that eats all my corn, I will lose all my money. So he would enter a contract to sell his corn at a fixed rate in 3 months in the future, hence a futures contract. And that is how the futures market started. Ta-da! History lesson. And now you can hedge against whether or not the weather's going to be crap in the future. Can you imagine a farmer on his tractor going, all right, everybody, I'm driving my tractor, I've got all my corn, can you just hedge against frost for me? He's not going to have a bloody clue what the futures market is he? The future's what? Yeah, the future's bright. Yeah, it's orange. He's not going to have a clue. Sorry if you come from Somerset. I live in the UK. That's how farmers talk in Somerset. I used to go out with a girl from Bristol, and everybody in Bristol talks like this. If you've seen Clarkson's Farm, you know exactly how they talk. I can't play it for you because I'll get a copyright infringement, but there's a bloke on Clarkson's Farm who'll talk like that, and you can't understand where he says, and he gets on talk like this, and you say, all right, blah, 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 and he talks like that, and that's literally how they talk in the West Country. You go down there and ask for directions, you wind your window down, and they go, and you go, yeah, all right, mate, wind your window up and drive off and ask the next bloke. You get exactly the same voice. All right, my lover, going down a pub for a beer, yeah, want a cider? Cider and black? Lovely. Sandeep, welcome aboard. Sorry, I do talk about trading sometimes as well. Tim, I posted a message you ignored probably because it was in capitals. Oh, I probably thought it was somebody asking for gold. Just before my Frost futures post, it wasn't really advertising, just a joke. By the way, did you trade Frost futures? No, I can't see anything posted in capitals before your comment about Frost. You did ask about US dollar bullishness and indices bearishness. I answered that one. I can't see any other comments though. I came here for 3 days straight, and I hear that like 20 times already. I know. Well, if I keep repeating myself, it's because it's stuff that's important. Basically, if I say the same thing over and over again, hopefully it will sink in. Yeah. Stop using a stop loss when you're short, and you won't get stopped out, and you'll make a profit. I'm going to keep repeating that until people stop using a stop loss, and then they will start to make a profit. When your P&L looks like that, you realize why your P&L has been looking red all the time. It's simples. Gold lifted its left hand, dangling a carrot. Probably. Is there head and shoulders forming on gold, is there? Oh, yes, over here. Woo! Love head and shoulders. Right. It's time, 25 past. Today I'm writing in an English exam. Well done. What's that got to do with trading? Good luck, though. Hopefully you pass. My family were from Bristol, and they say the words brown and pound. You know what I mean? How now, brown cow? I can't do that. Or like the best way to sum up the West Country and anybody from Bristol is, all right, my lover. All right, my babber. Everything ends in R. It's just, when I first started going out with a girl that used to live in Bristol, the first time I went down to Bristol to get introduced to her friend group, we went to a pub. And pubs in Bristol are rough as well. This was actually in Clevedon, which is even proper rough. And I went to a pub called it was the Rosie. I think it was the Rose and Crown. I don't know, one or the other. But we went in, and she introduced me to all of her mates who had obviously been in there for probably about 2 hours before I got there, eagerly awaiting my arrival so that they could vet me as to whether or not I was allowed to date her, because that's what it's like when you come from a village in Somerset. Everybody knows it's everybody, and everybody's got an opinion about everybody. And if anybody don't like anybody, you ain't coming in. That sort of thing. So I got down there, and I had a few beers because I was nervous, and I didn't understand a word of anything anybody said. They were talking so fast, and because they were drunk, they were slurring their words that they actually slur anyway. You imagine someone talking like this, and then they actually start to slur their words when they're talking like that. You can't have a bloody word. So it didn't go well. But what happened was we started playing a game called Skittles, and I used to do quite a lot of bowling. So I was actually really good at Skittles. So I got in with them just because I was good at knocking pins down and drinking, obviously. But yeah, anyway. Oh, I talk a load of crap. This is what trading's all about. When you get good at trading, yeah, and you're just waiting for your P&L to get filled up with green stuff, you end up just sitting here talking crap and doing nothing. This is kind of why I run the live room, because I've got nothing to do. Yeah. I'm waiting for this to move, right? And that's all it's... I'm not waiting for gold to move because it's gold. I'm waiting for this to move. And literally all it's done since I've been online is that. So 99% of your time is spent waiting for a signal. How's the pound doing on my odd? Yeah, it's working. So I'm short from here. So I'm looking for a break of that low. I'm looking for a break of that low. If we break yesterday's low, I might add another one in there. Hopefully it's got a drop. It's got a drop coming. Let's see if we banked anything else today on the other ones. So where are we? Here we are. Nothing banked there. Nothing banked there. Nothing banked there. So you can see how the day's going so far. It ain't moving. Nothing's moving. Pointless. I'm in Ireland. Farmers the same in the deep south in Ireland, are they? Quite possibly. It's a farmer thing, isn't it? Somerset is a big farming community. Yeah, there's a lot of agriculture around that area. And I got another girl that used to live in Bath, Bristol and Bath. People from Bath, they all talk the same. They don't call it Bath, B-A-T-H. They call it Bath. Bristol. They leave out the T in Bristol. It's Bristol and Bath. Going up Bath? No, down Bristol night. Why? Come up Bath. Sorry, I've got to go. I'm on drugs as well, by the way, for those that don't know. I'm on these drugs for my trapped nerve, which is what I'm going to see the physio about. And they make you relaxed. Obviously, they make me very relaxed. That's what I posted. I don't know if YouTube doesn't allow it. Tim, it's still on my feed from earlier. Yeah, so you're talking about the question, aren't you? Generally speaking, I am right because US dollar equals bearish indices. Is that just based on whether US dollar has been moving based on fundamental data? If US dollar is moved used to banks taking profit, does the same apply? Yeah, I answered that question. I did an analysis. Oh, Tim, right, okay. No, I haven't got that. That's not there. I can't see that. Capitals. What you've just posted. No, I didn't see that at all. I'll answer that. Bruno, go check. Deluded Liverpool fans call Sadio Mane the best player in the world at YouTube. Oh. Advert. I've turned the volume up.
That's wrong.
Try to put words to that game. Liverpool would have made.
Oh, yeah, this is...
Yeah. We did. Every player was boss. And the one that I'm mentioning now, Sadio Mane, I said it last time I was on it, he's the best football player in the world. I don't know why people... Laughing for what, Chris? Why are you laughing for? Why are you laughing for? I'm being serious. I'm being serious. No, you see, I'm talking facts here. I don't do if buts and maybes. And you know, like
Liverpool. So if it's not Somerset and everyone talking like that in Somerset, you got people in Liverpool that talk like that. Can't understand them either. The UK is a very funny place. I live in the south. We all talk like London. London has obviously got a bit more of a twang, but you go anywhere else apart from the south and from London, everybody talks really weird. You got to Yorkshire. I can't do a Yorkshire accent, but you got to Yorkshire and they will talk funny up there as well. That's a Bristol one again. You go to Wales, obviously that's completely different language. Do you know what they call a microwave in Wales? Anybody know what they call a microwave in Wales? Quiz. See if anybody's got the answer. How about Australian accent? I can't do it. Tim's got it. Australian accent. I can do an Australian accent, but right now I've just got nothing but Somerset and I can't do anything else now because everything I do is going to sound like a Somerset accent. I can't do Australian. I'm not a comedian, God's sake. Or not a comedian, a ventriloquist. Not a ventriloquist either. What's they called when you do impressions? Impressionists. Wake up. Yeah, so in Wales, a microwave is called a poppity ping. So in the Welsh language, there is no way of saying the word microwave in Welsh. So what they do is they call it the noise it makes. Poppity ping. When your microwave has cooked something, it goes ping. So they call it a poppity ping. I didn't believe it. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law, my brother-in-law grew up on a farm in Wales, and we used to go and visit them all the time in Wales. And he told me that, and it took me over a year to believe him. And it wasn't until I went down a pub and asked another Welsh person, have you got a microwave? And he went, you mean a poppity ping? I was like, shit, it's real. Crazy. Visiting the UK next year. Yeah, good luck, Brian. You won't understand a word. Stay in London and Sussex, you'll be fine. Go anywhere else, you'll be lost. Right, so Tim's question. Sir, cash settled international skimmed milk powder futures. Analyze, please, sir, so I can update my website. All your followers. Cash settled international skimmed milk powder futures. There is such a thing as that, isn't there? I bet. Yeah, there is. It's a dairy product. It has a chart as well. I can't analyze that. Sorry. Skimmed milk powder futures. Blimey. You can trade everything, can't you? Absolutely everything. LCM, I've been watching for a couple of weeks. Purchased some of your indicators, watch Bootcamp. Every day this week has been profitable. Excellent. Good job. Are you position trading or are you trading with a stop? I presume if you've watched the Bootcamp, you're position trading, which is why every day this week has been profitable. Ta-da! It's really easy to make money. There's only 114 people in here, so there's only 114 traders in the world that can actually make money at the moment. That guy deals with absolutes. He should open a demo account on IC Markets and see how he gets on. Yeah. Absolute. Absolutely. Hey, boss, Bitcoin, Tar. Mr. Brokey, no problem. Bitcoin. It's a US dollar cross in exactly the same way as gold is a cross. The US dollar goes up, Bitcoin goes down. US dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes up. I don't trade Bitcoin, so I can't really analyze it. I can analyze it from a technical perspective. So I would be looking to short it massively down. Look at that, Saturday and Sunday trading. Don't see that very often. Well, you don't see that in anything because nothing else trades. So yeah, I don't know. I've got a question, right? Anybody in here that position trading on FX? Well done, LCM. Good man. Diamond, I asked ChatGPT in Wales, a microwave oven is typically called a Popty microdon, which translates microwave oven in English. A Popty microdon. Oh. I guess Popty microdon's too complicated for the Welsh to continue saying, so that's why they call it a poppity ping. A poppity ping. Poppity ping. It's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Poppity ping. Yeah, love, I need a cup of tea. No worries. Stick it in the poppity ping. What? So my question is, right? Does I'm going to pick a crypto. Top crypto pair instruments. Right, they'll do. No, let's go back. So, can anybody explain to? That's exchanges. I wanted. Oh God, can't I just get a list of crypto? Just instruments, crypto instruments. Right, let's just pick Dogecoin. Right, can anybody explain to me what the underlying fundamentals are for Dogecoin? Right, so why does Dogecoin go up and down? Can anybody explain in a sentence? Don't sit there and type a paragraph or a document, but why does Dogecoin move up and down? Does anybody know? This isn't a quiz. I'm asking the question. Apart from Elon Musk, and apart from it being a Ponzi scheme. Too complicated, cheeky. I'm off too. I can't say it. The way I used to say that town as a child, and that is what Tim's just posted in the chat. For any of you who don't know, what he's posted there is not gobbledygook. That's the name of a town in Wales. Good luck. I tell you what, let's get Google to pronounce it for us quickly while we're waiting for people to tell me how Dogecoin works. Can you pronounce? There we go. This guy's going to pronounce it for us.
What I've gone to see and experience, it's hard to put into work. I can't wait to see what the last part of the trip has in store.
Get on with it.
Can you pronounce the name of this town?
It's UK weather, mate. Try to put wingers, forget a quadruple, trying to see go, 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 go.
In 2 days, this YouTube video of Liam Gallagher can drop off Santa for me, and plan by the first wing is for Gallagher can drop off Santa Sonia go.
Can you imagine if you lived there? Unbelievable. It is a place in Wales. It's really close to where my brother and sister-in-law used to live. Nuts. Anyway, right, so let's have a look. Dogecoin goes up and down because of Elon Musk tweets. Yeah. Gravity. Yeah. Market cap. Market cap isn't a reason to go up and down, is it? M2. Supply and demand. Right. Okay. Doge goes up and down to grab stop losses and liquidity points, also to trap traders. Right. Liquidity. Supply and demand is a fairy tale. Euro correlation. They call it Landfair PG. Yeah, that makes more sense. Right. So that kind of answers my question. The reason I don't trade crypto, right? There's no one in this room that can tell me why Dogecoin goes up and down. Why does Bitcoin go up and down? Yeah. If you do not know the answer to why something moves, you shouldn't be trading it, because for all you know, Binance and Coinbase are pushing the price of this up and down. There is no underlying driving factor in this, is there? This is why I don't trade crypto, for those that keep asking about Bitcoin and crypto, because I know why US dollar CAD moves, because there are fundamentals driving the supply and demand of the US dollar and the Canadian dollar, in the fact that money flows into and out of these countries on imports, exports. Interest rates make people buy things. Interest rates make people do things. Unemployment makes the Fed adjust rates to drive this up and down. So you have a factor that makes this thing move. In Bitcoin, for all I know, there's a Chinese guy sitting somewhere on $25 quadrillion of profit because he's been pressing buttons to make this go like this. Every single one of these coins that people are putting YouTube videos up and trading, they don't know how it works. How can you possibly trade something on a technical basis? Is there any technical reason for this thing to do this? I just, see what I mean? This is why I never got into crypto, because when I started looking into crypto years and years ago, I said basically, right, so what is Bitcoin? And I kind of got a basic understanding for it. So what drives it? And since I asked that question to myself on every website in the world, no one has been able to tell me the answer. Right? And it's the same with binary options. Remember, we went into a phase where everyone was doing binary options, buys and sells, yeah? So you get in and you've got a 50-50 shot of doing that. Binary options market was driven by the binary options brokers. They controlled whether a candle went up or down. So whenever you entered that market, they were 100% in control of whether you won or lost that trade. It's a massive scam. Yeah. The volatility indexes. All these broker created synthetic products, they're all scams. They're all driven by brokers. And no one can tell me that crypto is not. And I understand there's underlying things, but who pushes the buttons? Why does it go? And if it's purely on the fact that there's more buyers than sellers, that's fine. But why do you buy it? Why do you sell it? We buy the US dollar when the Fed increases interest rates. We sell the US dollar when the Fed reduces interest rates. There's something that makes us do it. This market, as far as I'm concerned, is purely driven by fear and greed. And that's completely random. Untradeable. Anyway, I just thought I'd ask the question and I got the answer. No one knows. No one knows why crypto moves. So, Lee, your tailored YouTube ads are for finding single Ukrainian women. I know. I don't know why. I don't know why. They're not there at the moment, but I don't know why that happens. I haven't been looking for a Ukrainian woman. I promise. I think that's a blanket one. It better be. Either that or my kids have been looking for them. My light bulb's just gone on. But crypto is not Dogecoin, isn't it? I don't know. This is the problem. I'm not trading it because I don't know it. I don't know what it is. As far as I'm concerned, I could set up a Samsung coin tomorrow and put it in the market and people will buy it and sell it. What drives it? I haven't got a clue. It's my coin. I don't know how it works. Why does pound US dollar go up and down? Same reason as everything else. Supply and demand of the individual currencies driving against each other. Reminds me of the composer John Gamble Putty Devon Ostfern. Yeah. Apple banger. Apple banger. Could you talk about trade options? What do you reckon? Trade options? Trading options? I don't trade options. Never have. Never looked into it. I have no knowledge of options markets whatsoever. Sorry. Diarman's just spamming composers that I can't pronounce, so that ain't going to happen. I've got to go because I've got my appointment in 15 minutes. So we've had fun. Haven't made any money because nothing's moving. So don't expect anything to happen until 12 o'clock. So at 12 o'clock today, the pound rates are coming out. Market's going to go pop. 12:30, half an hour later, market's going to go pop again. I'll be back at 1:20 and we'll have a look at what's happened. But positions that you're in, if you have any pound pairs in strong profit, for example, pound New Zealand, I'm very little drawdown in it, but I can bank here $500. Euro US dollar, I can bank another 100. Sorry, that's Euro US dollar. Pound pairs, pound CAD, I haven't got anything there. So before the news comes out, if you're in position trades, it's entirely up to you. One strategy is to get this there, because once it's realized profit, tick. Two things are going to happen. Either my pound New Zealand sell, the pound goes up, and what does that give me an opportunity to do? Go short. So what can I do? Pat that short back on. Yeah. So looking at pound New Zealand as an example, just before I go, I'm rushing my speech now. Pound New Zealand, yeah. This position here is in $482 of profit. I'm so close to break even on it, so I'm going to leave it running myself. But what you could do is bank this. Two scenarios are going to play out when that news comes out. Either it goes up, in which case, what can I do? Add that trade back on again. And what does that give me the opportunity to do? Bank that, and then bank it again. Double my money. The other option is I bank it here. My average drops to there because I've got these two positions on, and the US dollar tanks. What happens? That goes into profit, that goes into profit, and I close the whole position. So when you bank positions that are in profit ahead of news, because we've got news affecting that currency, those are the two options you've got. Both are positive. You bank it, you add it again and bank it again, X2 profit, or it goes your way. And yes, that one would have made a load of more money. But do you want to take the risk? Entirely up to you. For me, because I'm so close to getting out on this, my exit is here, literally. Any kind of whipsaw on the pound US dollar is out of the position for me. So I'm going to leave it on and just bank it. Thanks for the follow. I've turned my volume up way too high because we're watching YouTube videos. So just be aware of that. Same with the US dollar. We've got US dollar in unemployment coming out. I've got a US dollar yen in $127. It's only 0.12%. But would I rather have that there? Or it could fly up, hit TP. It could go down and turn into drawdown. Those are your decisions you need to make. And obviously you make them based on you and how you feel at the moment. But anything you've got US dollar exposed and anything you've got pound exposed is going to go crazy within the next 2 hours. Potentially. May not, may do. So just be aware. You've got the options to bank. Okay. OFs, of course not. What moves oil or corn chart? Fundamentals are the same, supply and demand. What moves the oil and corn chart is the futures market. And what moves the oil and corn chart is the amount of farmers that need to hedge their corn and oil. That's why you will find oil and corn doesn't move very much. Different market, different market completely. Right. Trading psychology. Forex King, come back this afternoon at 1:20 and I'll talk about trading psychology. Ask me again then. Right, I'll be back this afternoon at 1:20 and we'll see what happens. We'll be back with my physio. Good luck over the news. Hopefully you can bank a load of profit. If not, you're going to a load of drawdown. Just deal with it. And we'll trade this afternoon the NASDAQ and the Dow. And we'll see what happens this afternoon with these. But I get the feeling we will probably have done pretty much most of our ADR. So we'll probably get a quiet afternoon session. So I will see what happens, but I might not trade the indices this afternoon either. But I will see. I've got the EAs turned off at the moment because I'm expecting big moves before, and then we typically don't get any movement. So, all right, guys, have a good one. I'll be back at 1:20. If you need anything, I'll be in the Telegram group when I get back from my physio appointment, and hopefully you can make some profit. Speak to you later.